than what they are carrying. The money they got to buy this weapon are from the ransom people are paying, Nigerian government is paying to them. They released 25 students from KB. They paid them 1 billion, 1B, not M, 1B. I heard and I read where they said one of the students that escaped said they overheard them say the more people they kidnap, the more money they make. Let's kidnap many children. Each child, 100 million. The money they got is what they used to buy weapons. We as Biafrans, if we come together in unity, we can fund our freedom. Let our government decide how to share it. That is not our business. Our business is to fund. Fund your freedom. Our government know what to do. So while this is happening in the terrorist country called Nigeria, they had to send bomb to Cotonou. That judge said the Nigeria, so he was very, very right when he said the Nigerian military can be spared to attack Benin, but they can't keep peace and stop ISIS in their own country. What kind of president is that? You don't know? Please, somebody should answer. What kind of president is that? Just on mic. That is the question this Josh Galloway is asking. Former member of Parliament of United Kingdom. Because I need sharp answer. Let me read what he says so that we answer what kind of president is that. The Nigerian military can be spared to attack Benin, but they can't keep peace and stop ISIS in their own country. What kind of president is that? Me, I will say Ogogoro president. Who else have answer? Because can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? My
yes,
co-host.
I can hear you.
Okay,
For
so
me,
what kind of president is that?
For me, I want to answer what kind of a president? A drug lord.
That never mean well to its people. He's a wicked president.
Okay, wicked president. Hold on, are you there? What kind of president is that? Obi Chicago, what kind of president is that? Correct. Thank you. Hold on, are you there? What kind of president is that? Hold on, are you close to your mic? Okay, Holland is not close to his mic. So that is the kind of president we have helped to answer George. Maybe later others will also answer George that question. He said, what kind of president is that? Because he doesn't understand. So tonight we are going to connect the dots between why France ordered Nigeria to bomb Cotonou and what Boris Johnson was really doing in Imo State, and why Iranian ambassador visited Hope Uzodinma days after Boris Johnson went there, and Chinese that are still funding terrorism for minerals, and why Senate approved the deployment after the bombing. So why we also look at why this is all happening. Why are they selling Biafra land to Islam? Why is Hope Uzodinma selling Biafra land to Islam? And most importantly, why Biafra separation is the only solution to end this madness. So we are going to look at I hope time will permit. So please share the space, because I've told you I don't know the kind of update that X is doing. There are a lot of restrictions. So I think if we share the space, people will see it and join, because maybe at times it's even hidden. Yeah, they've been doing this since morning. Okay, so in the past week alone, we've seen what happened in December 4, where that Boris Johnson landed in Imo State, and they call it Economic Summit. And in December 7, we saw Nigeria bomb Benin Republic within hours of coup attempt. And then on December 8, we saw Nigerian aircraft detained in Burkina Faso under suspicious circumstances. And then December 7 to 9, we saw U.S. congressional delegation led by Scott Franklin and Raleigh Moore investigate Christian genocide. And in December 10, we've seen churches in Nigeria that are now worshiping heavily under the with the armed guards for safety. And then this madman called Hope Uzodinma, we're also going to look at what is also happening this week, how we received the Iranian ambassador, and then Senate approving troop deployment to Benin after bombing had already happened. Meanwhile, Boko Haram are still killing Christians every day. Islamic jihadists now, we've seen in news now that they are sending a ransom letter before they kidnap you. So a lot is happening. And I don't know why Biafrans are still sitting on the fence without bringing their money. So the question that should be burning in every Biafran heart, if you see what is happening in Imo State, this question should be burning in your heart as a Biafran. Whether you support Brigio, or you hate Ogechukwu Nkera APMO, or you hate all of us gathered here, that should be the least problem now. That should be the least problem for you. The major problem you should ask is, have we been sold to Islam? That should be your concern. Have we been sold to Islam? With what Obuzodinma has turned Imo State into, old Imo State. That same Imo State is where we have Tiger Base, where the organs of Biafras are being harvested and are selling it. They are selling it to international market. One of their customers is UK, China, France. So it should be a concern to every Biafran out there. 3 days after Boris Johnson left Imo State, the Iranian ambassador arrived in Imo State. What deal was struck? We don't know. Why is the heart of Biafran land hosting Islamic Republic diplomat while Christian communities are burning? It's a very big question, in-depth question that all Biafrans should reflect. What is happening in Imo State? Has Hope Uzodinma sold us to Islam? Because it is that same Imo State that they built the biggest mosque. What is he up to? Is there anything cooking that we don't know as Biafrans? There is a call for action. If not, we will begin to look for a black goat at night instead of during the day. It's a wake-up call to each and every one of us, Biafrans. Something is going on in Imo State that we don't know. So let's look at what's happening in Benin operations, and that occurred due to France's order, and Nigeria did not have any other option than to obey. Let's look at the time difference when all this thing happened and see how fast Nigeria responded. But they cannot respond to terrorist attack. They will say, no, we have to get order from Abuja before we can engage. I'm not the one that said it. The Zamfara state governor said it. Yes, that when terrorists come to attack them, he calls his security personnel. They will say, no, we have to get order from Abuja before engaging them. So let's look at what happened from 2 a.m. A Lieutenant Colonel Pascal and soldiers, this happened at 2 a.m. from the National Guard attack homes of military officials in Benin, kidnapping some and killing the wife of one of the officers. And at 5 a.m., this is 3 hours after, the presidential palace in Cotonou was under attack, and the President Patrice and his Republican Guard, they fought back. Now, 1 hour 30 minutes, this is now 6:30 a.m. Coup plotters seized state television SRTV and announced the overthrow of President Talon, citing poor governance as well, corruption, all those things, military favoritism, which is also happening in Nigeria. Everything that is happening in Benin Republic is happening in Nigeria as well. They are so corrupt. So they are 5 and 6. Economic hardship, the same thing that is playing out in Nigeria. Now, within 3 hours, Nigeria received 2 formal requests from Benin for military intervention. So Benin called Nigeria and said, where are you? We need help. If not, if they overthrow us, you also will be in problem. France will be in problem. They will lose the grip. Hey, they called Nigeria at 9 a.m. 9, 10, 11. 2 a.m., 2 hours. After 2 hours, Nigerian Air Force, they launched a precision airstrike on coup plotters fleeing in armored vehicles at Camp Togbin. You see, 2 hours only, interval of 2 hours. They swung into action immediately. And by 3 p.m., Nigerian ground forces crossed the border and entered Benin. Are you following? Then by 6 p.m. that day, let's say 3, 4, wait, 4, 5, 6, 3 hours, because this happened now, 6 p.m. The coup was completely crushed. So 14 people at least were arrested. And the coup leader is still at large right now. They have not captured him. So that is military efficiency. That is how it should be. Swift action. Just like getting emergency call, swift action, very rapid response was given because something was about to pour. Pot of soup was about to pour. Nigerian pot of soup was about to pour. France pot of soup was about to pour. They said, what is happening? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Something is about to happen. Are you following what we are saying? Please kindly share the space if you are joining. So, let's continue. Now, let's compare this to Boko Haram. How Boko Haram carry out their own operation. We've just seen what happened in Benin. Now, Boko Haram, we all know that it started from the year 2009, 16 good years now. So let's look at the recent statistics of this guy. From 2005, the attack so far. We've seen what happened in June 21, suicide bombing in Borno that killed 12 people. We saw September 5th, attack in Darul Jamal. 63 people were killed, including 7 soldiers. We saw in October, Boko Haram that seized the entire Karewa bombing district, Head Palace, and the military barracks. 5,000 people fled to Cameroon. Okay. Now, in November 15, Boko Haram killed Brigadier General Musa Oba, that they killed like chicken. You see, in November 18, 25 schoolgirls were kidnapped in Kubi. And November 21, 300 students over with their teachers were kidnapped from St. Mary's Catholic School. So in first half of 2025 alone, more than 10,000 people have been killed by bandits. The question everyone must ask is, if Nigeria can detect a coup in Benin, they mobilized their fighter jets. They didn't just, detect. They detected the coup and they mobilized their fighter jet immediately. Now I had to tell you the time interval these operations happened. They did not waste time. And then they conducted this precision airstrike, coordinated the ground force immediately. These are the same people that tell you that they don't have satellite to communicate, that the terrorists are using Starlink. But they themselves, all of them, under military and security, they don't have enough communication gadget. They don't have enough a satellite to use and communicate. That is why the Fulani terrorists have been kidnapping people. They cannot trace them. But they stayed in Nigeria and were able to organize everything within 2 hours interval. Their ground forces were organized and then they crushed it in less than 12 hours. Sharp, sharp. Why can't they do the same with Boko Haram? Why can't they do the same with Lakurua? Why can't they do the same with ISWAP? Why can't they do the same with Fulani terrorists and every other one? Why can't they do the same? Why? Do you believe? I want like 2 or 3 persons to answer this question. Please just stick to this question before we continue. Do you believe Nigeria lacks the capability to defeat Boko Haram? Or do you believe Nigeria lacks the will to defeat Boko Haram? If it lacks the will, why do you think so that Nigeria lacks the will? Did you get the question? I'm going to read the question again. With this swift action like this, do you believe that Nigeria lacks the capability to defeat Boko Haram? Because this is what they told the United States of America. We don't have the capability, so we're incapacitated. We don't have funding. Give us weapons, sell more arms to them. But today we have seen that Nigeria even sent aircraft. So they have weapons. I don't answer the question. God help me. Who is ready to answer the question for me, please? My co-host, are you there? Do you think? Okay, Nweze, please go ahead. Should I read the question again?
Yeah, I do understand you, our host. Thank you very much for giving the
Okay,
mic, and I
answer.
thank every Biafran
Yeah.
here. And I thank the God of freedom, the God of the universe, for making it possible for us to be here. Yeah, to go straight to your question. First, I also recognize all the honorable members here in the space and those going to join us later. And every one of us here, I salute you all and I respect you all. Yeah. So going to straight to the question, Nigeria has been captured. Nigeria have every capacity to quell every insurgency that is happening in the northern part of Nigeria. But Nigeria has been compromised. And France and other world powers are in control of Nigeria as we speak now. So whatever they instruct Nigeria to do, because they know that Nigeria is gone. They know that Nigeria has failed. So China and France are using whoever they put there as a president to commit all this havoc, because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense even to the dumb or to the deaf that you have a crisis at home and you abandon it, go to save other people who are trying to expunge themselves from this imperialist to this new colonialism who has coming to or who has been exploiting them over the years. And you claiming that you are a giant of Africa, you left your own problem. Going to save other people who are trying to change the system of government in their country. So it doesn't make sense to the dumb and to the deaf. So that is my response to that. Thank you very much. I don't know if I get the question or answer.
Thank you. Even though I say we should, but you've not answered the question. Thank you, but you've not answered the question. The question is, do you believe Nigeria lacks the capability to defeat Boko Haram, or do you believe Nigeria lacks the will to defeat Boko Haram? That is the question. Do you believe Nigeria lacks the capability to defeat Boko Haram, or do you believe Nigeria lacks the will? Before we continue and go and see how France really aided them. So that is the question. Maybe we'll give you
in my own
seconds.
opinion, Nigeria lack the will. It's simple as that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, let me not give you time again because you were supposed to add why you say they lack the will. But it's okay. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Wow. Senior citizen, your hand is up.
Thank you. Thank you. Because I said if you call another person now, I might forget the question. So I salute you, Tuto. I salute everyone. I'm just coming in, but I guess I can answer a bit. So correct me if I'm wrong. Nigeria, do they have the capability? Number one, eh? They used to have the capability, but now they don't have the capability because their military is being infiltrated. They now have Boko Haram from across the whole world, from that were sleeping and suddenly they woke up. They give them uniform and they give them some part of Quran to recite. They finish reciting it. They now told you they have repented, and then they now put them inside Nigeria military. And the only English they understand is go catch them. That's all they understand. They don't obey the rules of engagement. So before, when they have professionals, when they have all these generals, they've been spying and spying, they have killed their soldiers by themselves for themselves. So before they used to be capable, but now they don't have the capability anywhere. That's number one. And they will also tell us whom the people they now sent to Niger Republic to do what they did anyway. And then the will, they lack the will. They don't have the will because they are the very terrorists we're talking about. Nigerian government is killing Nigerians. So how would they have the will? So having the will is like having the will to kill themselves. That was why Gumi, which is Gumi is the sympathizer, their fathers their well-wisher, their advisor, and the negotiator of bandits. That was why when Gumi had that Trump, he now started advising Trump, don't come, oh, you see, when you come now with gun blazing, that you will not kill more. He knows you are coming to kill his brothers and sisters. So they must not have the will. Because when they have the will, it's for them to die. And they wouldn't have the will because them having the will is stopping jihad. And it has been well over 100 years a dream for the Muslims to accomplish jihad. So they must continue to not to have the will. And this is why Biafrans all over the whole world, in Nigeria and Biafra now, must rise up and support what we are doing. Thank you.
Wow. Senior citizen. Yeah.
Ma'am, did I answer you?
Let me clap. Let me clap.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Let me also clap for Nweze. Nweze. Thank you, Nweze. I forgot to clap. Yes, so Obi Chicago, your hand is up. Do you want to answer? Do you believe Nigeria lacks the capability to defeat Boko Haram? Or do you believe Nigeria lacks the will to defeat Boko Haram? If it lacks the will, why? Thank you, thank you, thank you, Obi Chicago. Thank you for your answer. Clap, 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 clap. I don't have clap. You know that my clapping. King David said it sounded like I was frying akara. I, I had to delete it that time. I'll look for another one. Okay, hold on. Your hand is up. Do you want to answer the question before we continue? You have the mic now. Hold on.
My hand was up before. I don't know why you didn't call me.
I did not see you. Sorry.
Okay, nah,
And
yes,
moreover,
no
ladies
problem.
first. Moreover,
Actually,
ladies first.
actually, yes, actually, no. The question was rightly answered. The issue is quite obvious before even everyone that want to play shenanigans and want to pretend to be one Nigeria. They know quite alright that no, Nigeria has no military again. Why? Because the genuine one, we're really doing the work before now, and we have no virtual evidences that play out even right before each individual that encountered the experience in this fight against the Boko Haram and all these insurgencies and the terrorists. We see one of the snipers that said he was a good sniper, and he was informed rightly by the commander not to shoot again, don't shoot again, don't shoot again, withdraw, stop killing them. And when he decided not to do so, the consequence was death, most of them. And the one that managed to get back to barrack, they still finally get being killed. So the genuine one are not there again. And the evidences is as well in their pages that no, they rehabilitated terrorists into the armed forces, into their security arms. So what are we talking about? Will you not ask your brother to go and kill your brother? Is that possible? Terrorists that have been enabled to be in the security architect of a nation, and you are not asking them to go back into the bushes, into the forest to go and kill them? And that is why we still have these evidences right in their pages of their newspaper that Gumi said they are their army in the bush. So how do you now expect them to go and destroy? No, they cannot do that. They don't have that capacity to do that again because they are already infiltrated and they cannot fight themselves. And as well about the will is not there because no, Gumi as well said, these are our children. So how do you expect the father to go and kill the children, the terrorist father to go and kill his son children? Is it possible? It's not possible. We bring it before the whole wide world and know the truth is wide open for everyone to know and understand that Nigeria is not a system of government that should be embraced by humanity again. But they need to collapse it and allow individuals that want their freedom to go. Biafra seek for their freedom, and this is what we expect the international community to do, to support and embrace our government through BRGIA. Thank you.
Wow, wow. Back to Holland. Thank you so much for your submission. Rage and Fury, do you want to answer the question? King David, we gave you mic. What happened again?
Okay,
Rage,
can
did
I
you get
go?
the
Can I
question?
go? I heard the question very well.
Okay, yeah, so go ahead and answer before we continue.
Yeah, good afternoon, Biafrans all over the world, freedom lovers and friends of Biafra. As a matter of fact, I would beg to differ with my colleagues on Nigeria lack the capacity to fight against terrorism or terrorists or Boko Haram. Because if you claim that Nigeria lack the ability, how come Nigeria within few hours was able to go all the way to a foreign land, Benin Republic, and forestall a coup? They have the ability, they don't lack the ability, but the military that we have in Nigeria today is not for the protection or for the defense of the indigenous people in that area they call Nigeria. Indigenous people, I mean the Biafrans, the Oduduwas, the Arewas. The Nigerian army is not meant for their protection or for the safety of those people. They have been infiltrated. So when you see the terrorists, the Boko Haram that are ravaging the people, committing genocide against Christians, they are part of, these are the asset of the Nigerian government. You understand? So when you talk of the ability or the capacity to fight against terrorism, Nigeria has it, but the capacity is in the hands of the same terrorists. You understand? It's part of the same terrorists. That is what led, or that is what leads to the lack of will to fight against terrorism. You understand? Because the terrorists are still part of the same Nigeria government. Hence, the will to fight against the terrorists is not there. Because if the will is there, they are still going to, like they said, they are still going to kill themselves. They are still going to fight against themselves. And we all know the purpose of these terrorists. They are an asset to accomplish their agenda, which is Islamization. You understand? So this is just it. Not that they lack the, if truly that they really want to fight, if not that they are not part of the terrorists or the terrorism that is happening in Nigeria, they have all it takes to fight against the terrorists, to checkmate the terrorism. Look at what with this year, is it not you that read it now? That with this year they went to Benin, arrested people that carried out the coup, and the coup plotter leader is at large. Is that not what you said? So they don't lack the ability, but it's unfortunate that the terrorists and the Nigeria army or whatever you want to call the government, they are the same. You understand? So that is the way I can answer that question. I yield the mic.
Yes, so Rage and Fury. Hey, Today you just went straight to the point. Be doing like this. You nail it. Thank you so much. You nail it. Yes, my co-host, your hand is up. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much. I just want to give my own sense there on the question that says, do you think that Nigeria lack the will? Yes, Nigeria lack the will. And the question remains that how can a country that negotiates with terrorists fight a terrorist? Is that possible? It's not possible. How can a country that those who are at the helm of affair are the ones sponsoring terrorism, and then you expect them to fight their business? Because it's like our people don't know that these people are really doing a lot of business on this their terrorism. And it will surprise our people to believe that most of these governors, you will not believe it, that even Hope Uzodinma is among this terrorism that these people are doing. You will not believe it that even Charles Soludo is among this terrorism business that these people are doing. They are giving them their own share. That is why you see Fulani will come to Anambra, old Anambra, and do whatever they could do. You will not see these people comment. You will not see them say anything. A country that is working or financing terrorism can never fight against terrorism. That is just the fact. Nigeria has been infiltrated with terrorists, and there is no way they can fight these terrorists. That is just the answer. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my co-host. Pam, 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 pam. The original co-host. Mama Stella, your hand is up again.
Yeah, I have a question because like your co-host really went to my heart to. I have a question because when you look at what is happening in Biafra land, it's like another scenario that's the same thing, but in they disguise themselves in Biafra land. For example, we just heard that well over is this 6,000 foot Fulani soldiers entered Anambra. You understand? And you can hear Anambra people. Listen, no, everybody. You can hear Anambra people calling on the people, the old Anambra, calling on them to be careful, that Fulanis are here, and that the person that was giving information was saying that he hopes that Udogachi will be able to do something, that they are able to also contact the governor that Fulanis are here. I was like, excuse you? Fulani is a terrorist. The governor, terrorist. Udogachi, terrorist. Give me their names. Give me all these names they have in AVG, Special Forces. They're all terrorists, one and the same goal. But they keep on confusing our people. Now, Fulani is in old Anambra land. Now, and they are telling them to be careful, that all the security forces should now come out and begin to protect them. That Ebubagu will now come and protect them. That Udogachi, but Udogachi and Ebubagu, they are the same purpose, the same goal with the Fulanese. So my people, all the Anambra is in soup, in a hot soup. They really need a tangible help. Thank you, and let me stop here.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you really need a clap for that. Thank you so much for all your answers. As we said, no answer is correct. In fact, we all answered correctly. So now let's look at the real reason France ordered the intervention. According to reports from Pravda and what do they call this their party? Communist Party of Benin. This is what really happened. If you also check, is there news have also carried it. French president, that one that the wife used to slap, hmm? That one that the wife looks like okporoko. This Christmas time now, our people will be eating okporoko, not only the head, the full okporoko. So imagine the wife, okporoko, the husband, okporoko, and the wife will always slap the husband in the public. I also saw another video that he pecked another woman and the wife turned and looked at him and he panicked, thinking that another slap will follow. That man is called Emmanuel Macron. He personally contacted the terrorist president, Nigeria, called Tinubu, and ordered him to deploy troops to Benin. And then the French forces now stationed in Benin were already involved in suppressing the coup. If you also check news headline, you will see that they were already there. The premise that French forces stationed in Benin were already involved in suppressing the coup before Nigerian jet arrived. They were there. What were they doing? How did they get that information? We will come to that later because there's a connection between this, what happened, and why Boris Johnson was in Imo State. Yes, I need to connect them because he did not go there to eat nkwobi. So now, if you look at the trend now, it is not about democracy, as I said before, because President Talon now has been accused of becoming increasingly authoritarian, just like Macron. Anybody that is colonized by Western countries, all of a sudden, they become authoritarian in their own regime. And recently, he has extended presidential term from 5 to 7 years. From 5 to 7 years, and he has banned all opposition candidates. So the citizens are not happy. So the coup plotters now cited legitimate grievances in what happened. Poor governance as usual, which is happening in Nigeria, economic hardship, a military for a favoritism, everything that is happening in Nigeria is a photocopy of what is happening in Benin. In Benin, that is Cotonou, that almost all of us go to Cotonou. We use it to bypass, check and all that from the custom terrorist country called Nigeria, everything. Most people pass through Cotonou to wherever they are going to have connection flights and all that. So the Communist Party of Benin now issued a statement condemning what they call Franco-Nigerian intervention, because Nigeria can never carry out this intervention without the help of France, and demanding immediate departure of foreign forces. So why does France care so much about Benin Republic is the question we should be asking. Because France is losing West Africa. They are losing it. Mali kicked out French troops and they are now with Russia. Niger kicked out French troops and they are now with Russia. Burkina Faso did the same. They are now with Russia. Are you following what is happening? So now, all these three countries form what they came together and called the Alliance of Sahel States. And they all withdrew from ECOWAS because ECOWAS has been taken over by the Fulanis. ECOWAS have positioned all Fulanis in different committees. So what are they going to gain? And these people don't want to associate themselves with a terrorist and a failed, disgraced country. They know very well that Nigeria is still a puppet to all the Western countries, especially France, and they don't want. So they had to back down. And ever since they left ECOWAS, Nigeria has been on their neck. So France's last remaining allies in that region of West Africa are three. Nigeria, which has now become their muscle. Nigeria is there, flexing their muscles for them. And then they now have this Benin now, which has become that trade corridor. How will I even explain this trade corridor? Hold on. Like, when we say trade corridor, like a holistic system, not just an ordinary road. It will integrate like custom, integrate all this digital system, and what else? They can also, regulate efficiency, like efficient supply chain. Yeah, just like a connection, a pathway, but not ordinary physical eyes. And I think there is something like that. Most people that are here in India and Middle East, Europe, there's something like that as well. So that is what Benin is to France. So they cannot, dare to lose Benin. And then the third one is Cote d'Ivoire. That Cote d'Ivoire now has become like economic hub for France. Let me use that word, economic hub for them. So Benin is so crucial. It has major oil and fuel corridor for all this illegal transaction. And the port of Cotonou, port of Cotonou is also that handles all this massive trade volume for France. And it borders It borders instability that threatens French access to Nigeria market becomes a problem. So it's like a buffer zone against these other three nations that pulled out from ECOWAS, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. So this Benin now is like a safe zone. It becomes a buffer, balanced solution for France and Nigeria to be able to relate in their trade businesses. Now, if they lose it, just like now I'm standing and I want to hit my co-host, and then Holland is in the middle, preventing me from hitting my co-host Onyenye. So now, if from that pathway, what used to connect me and Roland, what I used to use Roland to connect with Onyenye is lost. That is how Benin is, how useful Benin is to France. So if they were having that connection with the help of Benin in the middle, if Benin is out, so that means they have to now stretch very far before they can reach Nigeria and do business with Nigeria. And Nigeria also have, this is just my little illustration, I don't know if it is making sense. Nigeria now have to now stretch very far before they can reach France. So in between this stretching, that elastic can cut. Oh, I don't know if I'm making sense, because I hope you understand what I'm explaining. So that elastic of stretching can overstretch and cut, and both parties will not be able to benefit from each other. So that is why Benin is so important to France. So if Benin falls to these anti-French forces, French will lose its foothold in West Africa completely, and they have no other option than to pack out, because the one Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso did today, they have not still recovered. They have not recovered from it. So that is why Macron picked up the phone and called Tinubu. That is why Nigerian jets were in the air within hours, very fast. That is why this was treated like, let's say, 5-alarm fire. Ta 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 ta. What are you doing? Tinubu, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Where I'm eating from is collapsing. But when Nigerian school children were kidnapped and villages were burned, nothing happened. Nothing. There was no action. There was no meeting. There was no phone call. There was no press release. There was no investigation. Wait, let me find that video and play so that we listen and know that I am not the one saying it, that international community have followed up the scene and they, oh God, okay. Now let's listen, please. Few minutes.
Armed forces are being offered help from Donald Trump. So difficult are they finding it to protect their own people from ISIS and its chapter there, Boko Haram. So the Nigerian military can be spared to go and attack their neighbor, but they can't keep peace and stop ISIS in their own country. What kind of president is that?
Well, it's a good question. I mean, Tinubu has very long-standing ties in the United States. Max Blumenthal and David Hundean, who's the latter is a Nigerian journalist, very famous, did a brilliant piece on Tinubu in the Gray Zone. Everyone should read it.
Yeah, I asked a question before from the speech of this man, what kind of president is that? And we were able to give him some names. But now listen to how the interviewer is going to analyze and describe Tinubu. And let's listen, please.
About Tinubu's ties to cocaine trafficking.
Tinubu's ties to what? Cocaine trafficking. That is the answer demand to the question, what kind of president is this? So he's trying to tell him, okay, wait, let me tell you, in case you don't know who Tinubu is, let me help you, don't worry. I have his data, I have everything about Tinubu.
Networks in Chicago in his earlier years. So this is the type of guy that we're dealing with.
He's calling Tinubu the type of guy that we are dealing with. He went to school as a man and graduated as a woman. So he's telling, this is the type of guy that we are dealing with. Just one step back.
In the Gray Zone, everyone should read it, about Tinubu's ties to cocaine trafficking, networks in Chicago in his earlier years. So this is the type of guy that we're dealing with, in bed with the CIA, in bed with all these drug narco trafficking units. But of course, the West backs up the real narco terrorists like Tinubu, who, as you point out, are ignoring, I would say, the assault on their sovereignty by Western-backed terrorists like Boko Haram. Also now, JNIM, another terrorist organization linked with Al-Qaeda, has also entered into Nigeria. They have been causing a lot of chaos in Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger the past few years. And what is the goal here? Well, the goal is to try and take as many of the resource-rich regions in these countries, in particular in Nigeria, and the U.S. will cry foul. They'll say that Christians are being genocided, even though Christians and Muslims are being killed in both very high rates. Actually, far more Muslims are being killed than Christians in Nigeria. And then Eric Prince or some other private military contractor will get to send in their mercenaries to Nigeria.
I want to counter this man. Christians have been killed more than Muslims. So I don't know where he got his statistics from.
And they will take up all of the resource-rich land, the mineral-rich land, the gold-rich land in Nigeria, and illegally steal all of the resources. As for the question of why can't he do anything about this threat in his own country in Nigeria, but he launches all these airstrikes or these planes in Benin the moment there's a coup, there's a simple answer for that.
Listen.
President Macron of France gave a call to Tinubu today.
Did you hear that? Macron gave a call to Tinubu. Listen up.
Under the guise that there was a new offensive led by the Boko Haram terrorists in Nigeria.
Did you hear the way he used to enter Tinubu? Let me go back a little.
There's a simple answer for that. President Macron of France gave a call to Tinubu today under the guise that there was a new offensive led by the Boko Haram terrorists in Nigeria.
New offensive led by who? Boko Haram. Listen up.
Nigeria. He made an emergency call, and apparently it wasn't about Boko Haram, because if it was, I'd imagine those fighter jets would have been used to do targeted airstrikes, hopefully on the terrorists, but instead they were used to go into violate the sovereign airspace of Benin and presumably strike the coup leaders.
Now, as you mentioned,
Did you hear that? He used Boko Haram. And Tinubu, being on drugs already, carried phone. So far as the call is coming from France, he will do anything to please France. They will not say everything on social media for us to hear. But the call was, what are you doing? What are you doing? There is a coup in Benin. Cotonou, get up. Send your military. Send your make sure there is airstrike that is carried out there. Kill them. Kill the coup plotters. Kill everything that should be killed. You know, what France is doing is what Wilson did when there was Biafran War in 1967, between 67 and 68 precisely. When they did covert arm sale to Nigeria, they had to pass the arms through third world countries so that there will be no connection between UK and Nigeria in the name of selling arms. And UK, Wilson told Nigeria, you have to go and buy the weapons from Yemen and also buy from Sudan. We are not going to sell it directly to you so that there will be no trace of that transaction. That is what France did. They called Tinubu and said, oh, Boko Haram is about to strike. Tinubu understood because they are speaking in the language that each of them understand very well. Coded languages. And then Tinubu, without the approval of the Senate, even though Godswill Akpabio, who is a Biafran, as stupid as he is, now approved for soldiers to be sent to Benin Republic after they might have carried out a strike in a sovereign nation where they themselves were fighting Donald Trump for even mentioning that he will send a military intervention to kill the terrorists. They were panicking and they said, no, Nigeria is a sovereign nation. Nigeria is this, Nigeria is that. But Tinubu now had to violate another person's sovereignty and bombed them. Do you see what is happening now? So it is France that is behind this. The same France is behind our oil, You heard what the man said, we have a lot of resources. The same France and UK and China, they are after our resources back home. So they can kill anybody at will who wants to prevent them from doing business. Now, after doing that, because we don't want to talk too much, so I'll pass the mic. Burkina Faso now aircraft mystery has occurred, which Nigeria now landed their aircraft. What was Nigeria really doing in Burkina Faso? Official story that we have heard, it doesn't add up. That story does not add up. December 8, 2025, a day after the Benin intervention that they have bombed them with airstrike, Nigerian force C-130 transport aircraft makes emergency landing in Burkina Faso. Why? They claim aircraft was on a ferry mission to Portugal. Really? Experienced technical concern. This is report from Nigeria. The aircraft experienced technical concern shortly after Lagos takeoff. For real? And they then said, and they made precautionary landing at Bobo, Dialaso, Burkina Faso. All 11 military personnel are safe, received, and they are receiving cordial treatment. That is the report we got from Nigeria. But what we got from Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, they have their own claim. They said aircraft violated their airspace without authorization. Alliance of Sahel States said no overflight clearance obtained. They did not get it. This is unacceptable. Intrusion in our territory. 11 soldiers are still detained. Meanwhile, Nigerians said that 11 soldiers have received cordial treatment. Meanwhile, the 3 states said they are detained. And they said air defense system on maximum alert authorized to neutralize any aircraft. Let's look at why the official story is suspicious. This is my own understanding. Now, let's go back to geography. You know, those of us that did geography, because these people really, I'm like, what is the connection between Nigeria and Portugal flying through the airspace of Burkina Faso and then landing there? So let's use geography here, because the geography that I've been thinking makes no sense in what they're trying to, Nigeria can confuse you with big grammar. Because if you are flying, I had to look at the route. If you are flying from Lagos to Portugal, if you have anything to do with Burkina Faso. I love digging deep. Yes, because it helps me to understand what is going on. So I now discovered that if you are flying from Lagos to Portugal, you go northwest across Senegal and Mauritania to Europe, northwest. You see, Burkina Faso is not east of Lagos. Completely wrong direction. Now, what is even happening in Portugal that Nigeria will send their aircraft to Portugal? You see, the directions are different. Wrong direction. From Lagos to Portugal, you go northwest and you go through Senegal and Mauritania to Europe. Portugal is in Europe, while Burkina Faso is not east of Lagos. So how does military aircraft with trained investigators accidentally, that is the word they use, fly hundreds of kilometers in the wrong direction? My people, it get as it be now. At least when you want to lie, lie holy lie. Not the lie, but you know what? All things work together for good, that for those that love God and work according to his purpose. All this is exposing Nigeria terrorist government to the world. Let them know that these people are funding terrorism and they are not capable of ending terrorism, because Nigeria is terrorism itself. It doesn't add up. And they say ferry mission to Portugal. For what? Ferry mission. I beg. Holland, are you there? Please help us understand the word ferry mission. Are you there? Or any other person, please. Let's understand the meaning of this ferry mission. Please, anybody can do that. I will not talk alone. Are we there? Are we there? Ferry mission. I have the meaning, but I don't want to say it. I want the house to help me. I did not go to school. Ferry mission. Who is on mic that wants to tell us ferry mission? Are you still hearing me at all?
Okay, we can hear you. Can you hear
Yeah.
me?
Tell us what is
Yes,
ferry mission.
please, just give me 3 minutes. Okay, very mission. Very mission. As the name implies, very. It's
We
a
cannot
mission
hear
that
you.
embarks on both.
We can't.
The
Your line
mission
is
embarks
breaking.
on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now it's clearer. Go ahead.
So very mission. So I'm not too know like that, but let me just give maybe just a layman. So according to the name, very mission. That is a mission embarked on with a boat, actually, to ferry you to the other side of the other side where you want to go commit right where you want to commit. Thank
Thank you
Okay,
so much.
let
Yeah.
me let
Yeah, Onyenyere, go ahead, please. Oh, have we lost him? Onyenyere, are you there? Uh,
can you
Onyenyere, we
hear
can't
me?
hear you. Yeah, we can hear you now. Go ahead.
Okay, okay.
We can't hear him, or is it from me? Is it me that cannot hear him? Can anybody hear him?
We can hear him. I think he's having network problem.
Ah, okay. Oh, what do we do? Onyenyere. Okay, so let's continue. Should I bring him down?
I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you. Just give me 3 minutes. I'm back.
No, it's not you. It's Onyenyere that we are waiting for. Not you, Holland, please. Okay. No other person. Okay, somebody is requesting for mic. And see.
Good afternoon, Anti-Tutors. Let me just quickly give a short submission on what we are saying. If there is nobody to make their submission as we are waiting for others to come in. I don't know if I'm permitted, please,
We are
because
asking
of
for the
where I am.
meaning of ferry mission.
Excuse me.
We are asking for the meaning of ferry mission. Ferry mission.
Oh, okay, okay. Let me mute first.
I don't give one definition. That one not enter.
I know who follow up sef because I dey busy. Anyway, let me just mute so that I will know where to come in exactly.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Thank you.
All
Yeah.
right. When we are calling for
Just
submission, I'll
just like
call you. Nsi, are you
just like
there?
okay, yes, I'm here.
Yeah, please give us the meaning.
Just like what Rage said, Rage is right in his own context, but in the context of this line and everything they are talking about, when when an equipment like that, any of equipment like that in any series is doing a ferry mission, it means that it's just a cruise going over probably for a maintenance or for should I say maybe a discussion that has nothing to do, but in the terms of military cruise mission, it has nothing to do with combat. It's not combating. So it's just going on a ferry mission, probably for maintenance or probably for other technical checkup and everything that has to do with that equipment. When I say equipment, I mean the aircraft. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Amazing. That's it. So, yeah, Rach, we couldn't hear you too well, but Nsi heard you clearly. Yeah, thank you so much, Nsi, for that answer. So that is what
Hear me now?
Nigeria is clear. Eh?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, Onyeka, yeah, Onyenyere, go ahead.
Okay, I said a ferry mission is an operation where a vehicle or mostly an aircraft is transporting from one location to another without carrying a passenger or a cargo. The purpose is simple to move the vehicle itself. That is just that is just the explanation of it. It's just a vehicle which is carrying which is not carrying or aircraft that is not carrying any passenger. That is what that
Exactly.
is what. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. All the answers are correct. Thank you so much. Because
Sister
if you,
Tutos,
yeah,
Sister Tutos, you don't know say they here. Not English that they talk. Good evening. Can I give my
yeah,
own
we,
explanation?
yeah,
Can
welcome. We
I?
were looking for, yeah, we were looking for the meaning of ferry mission to continue with what we're doing.
Yes, it's
Welcome,
very,
welcome, Minister.
yeah, very, very simple. They have all answered the question. Hmm? In this context, it simply is a kind of military rescue operation of what military equipments, such as aircraft, and other similar evacuation mission also, transportation of heavy duty, armaments. All this has to do with
Thank
Very.
you. Thank you. Thank you, Academic Highness. Thank you to everyone that gave us the meaning of ferry mission. All the answers are correct. Because that is another reason, another question that we have to ask. What kind of ferry mission? Yeah, because the story that the officials are given, they're suspicious. It doesn't match. So what kind of ferry mission to Portugal? For what? The Nigerian government has provided zero explanation. Why was military aircraft going to Portugal? I've already mentioned it's a different direction entirely. What cargo was abroad? Aboard? Nothing. What was the mission purpose? They have not given us. And then another deep question is, why were 11 military personnel needed for a ferry mission? Now we know the meaning of a ferry mission. Why did they have 11 military personnel? Another reason to me, these are just my own understanding, why this response is suspicious is the timing. Because this happened one day after Benin Republic operation, just one day after. So the timing is questionable. Why? And then we heard the statement from the Alliance of the Sahel State, the three states, Burkina, Mali, and Niger. They explicitly mentioned Nigeria's intervention in Benin and their statement about the aircraft. They are connecting now. They are connecting the dots. They believe this aircraft was part of that Benin operation. That operation has not finished. Remember, the wound that these three states gave to France, France have not healed from that wound. It is still chopping and biting France in the inside. So France is also looking for a way to capitalize in the coup and then this destruction and intervention that Nigerian military went to carry out. They also see if they can find a loophole to get back that territory. But hey, according to people that used to enter bus in Nigeria, they entered one chance. So what likely happened? Let's just have a little analysis. Now, let's look at a scenario one. I just put down like four scenarios here. Let's look at the aircraft was conducting surveillance that is relating to Benin operation. Okay, mapping these three other states, and I feel they were testing their air defense response. Okay, if we attack these people, as I said before, what will happen? Can we take over this region? And then when I look at scenario two, weapons and personnel transfer. Now, look at how the plane was moving equipment and personnel for the Benin operation and then straight into Burkina Faso airspace. Are you people following what is happening? And then scenario three, I say, okay, let's now look at the provocation because Nigeria deliberately, intentionally violated the airspace of these three states, okay, to send a message that we can project power even in your territory. So these three states should be very, very vigilant. And scenario four, this is my own understanding, it really was an accident. But then, why won't Nigeria explain the Portugal mission? Why the vague response? Because Nigeria has not responded that Portugal mission. Why? So Nigeria have a very weak response. Nigerian response has been, so pathetic and very, very weak compared to the one from Ben. What is it called? Let me just call it Cotonou, because when I want to pronounce Benin, to look as if I should pronounce Benin, and I don't want to pronounce Benin so that our people will not get confused. Benin Republic. No, fighter jets were deployed within hours and precision airstrikes. Nigerian soldiers detained in Burkina Faso. Presidential aide dismissed it as silly propaganda. Of course, they always deny it as silly propaganda. But their soldiers are still there. They've detained them for this. When you look at why do we have this difference? Why? Nigeria acts tough with French allied states, that is the Benin and the Cote d'Ivoire that is left. But they back down from these three other states, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, who have kicked out this Western influence and partnered with Russia. So it reveals the truth that Nigeria is a Western proxy. When Western interests are threatened, which is what happened in this Cotonou, Nigeria will act decisively and swiftly. Very rapid response will be released. But when Nigerian interests are threatened, like the detained soldier, they will begin to beg. Because all these lies, oh, it was going to Portugal, is just indirect begging, please return our people. Now, there is a question here before I go to how I am suspecting Boris Johnson visit and a hand in UK in what happened to Benin. We have a question here. If 11 Nigerian soldiers were detained by Benin Republic, would Nigeria's response be the same as with Burkina Faso? Why or why not? Or should we keep this question? Let's talk about Boris Johnson. Or is there anyone that wants to give some? Where is 1 million? 1 million, 1 million, 1 million.
Repeat this your question. Repeat this your question.
Okay. If 11 Nigerian soldiers were detained by Benin, would Nigeria's response be the same as with Burkina Faso?
Well, as for me, I don't think Nigeria response will be the same. But as a useless country they are, as a country that don't follow law they are, they may respond likely. The reason why I don't think their response should be the same is because, number one, you went through the airspace of these people unannounced. You violated their airspace rule. So the law is against you. You don't have any right to act the same. But Nigeria, in fact, as a matter of fact, all these things that is going on, I see the hand of God on it, because Nigeria, God just want to disgrace Nigeria beyond every human recognition, because it is getting clearer by the day that this country is a worthless, is a no go. The country doesn't know what they are left from their right. That is just what everything that is unfolding is showing. Thank you very much. That is just what I want to contribute. They don't have the right to act in like manner. That is just my answer. Thank you.
Thank you. You're one of Biafra land. Where is it? Your hand is up. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Minister. Yeah, to go straight, permit me to stand on already existing protocols. Yeah, to go straight to your point, we have had many cases of Nigerians being stranded abroad in many occasions, and the Nigerian government did nothing to rescue them. The recent one was when Iran was having problem, when the US, bombed their nuclear arsenal there, something like that. There were many Nigerians that went to Nigerian embassy in Iran. They were stranded. There was nobody to attend to them. So Nigeria will never go, will never rescue his or her citizens anywhere in the world, like what Burkina Faso did. Nigeria don't care about their citizens. So that's just my own opinion. Thank you for the opportunity.
Ndewo. Brilliant answers. Ndewo. Please, I've noticed that only 10 people shared the space. Kindly share the space so that people will get the notification and join. While Twitter is still working on their updates, some people may. Okay, 1 million. I've been calling you.
Sorry, my big auntie, because
Yeah, yeah. Give your submission in that section before we go to Boris Johnson. Go ahead. Can you be audible?
yeah, straight answer to the question you just asked. Am I coming out a little bit? Because
Add more volume, please.
all right, because I'm using my headphone. Am I coming out a little bit?
Now, yeah, now it's better. Go ahead, please.
Okay, so straight answer to that question you just asked now. The response, if it was, if I wouldn't be, it was Benin Republic that had this Nigerian so-called military or the group terrorists, the response would have been exactly, what we just witnessed a few days ago, how the so-called Janjaweed have to send their military aircraft to invade, the Benin Republic. So that would have been their response. But as it stands right now, even though that the Burkina Faso government understand that this has been their modus operandi, there is a reason and there is a cause behind the decision that they have made, and even as much that we all know that in the eyes of the international community and the eyes of the world, that they have violated the law, and the Burkina Faso government has every right to do whatever they are doing. But assuming maybe it would have been maybe like any other African countries, like maybe especially Benin Republic, what we just witnessed, a few days ago, that would have been their next, plan, because these people, they are all head-bent, they are terrorists, they are invaders, and they are not meant to be trusted. And as I just really applaud the government of Burkina Faso for taking this action that they have just taken, because this is one of the good example that I have seen so far from Africa. One of the best decisions so far from one of the governments in Africa that they have taken, and I encourage them, to go more further and make sure that they detain them very, very well. Even if possible, forever and ever until that country is disintegrated, because that is not a country, it's a contraction. Thank you very much.
Thank you, 1 million. That was a brilliant one. Don't go away. Hang on. By the time we finish the next section, you have what to say again, because now we want to look at Boris Johnson's suspicious visit and the hand of UK in this matter, because I cannot believe UK doesn't have a hand in it. So now, a lot has happened, Biafrans, and we need to ask the question, which I said from the beginning of this space. What is going on in Imo State? What is going on in Imo State? Because the timing this bombing of Cotonou happened is not coincidental. No, it's not coincidental in any way. Take your mind back to December 4th. This is my belief. December 4th, we saw that man that called himself Boris Johnson in Imo State. And in December 7th, there was a coup attempt. And who intervened? Nigeria and France. Is France working with UK? The answer is yes. These two nations recognized the Palestinian state. So they are working together forever and ever. Wherever you see France, you see UK. Partners in crime. Two of them are parasites. They feed on the resources of third world country. And then they make life difficult for you when you migrate to their country. They still treat you as a third world country citizen, irrespective of the fact that you are carrying their passport. They don't care. Look at the case of Onyendu, that this man came to Nigeria. He did not even ask questions and said, oh, what happened? Let me go to Sokoto. and see my citizen for where? Nothing. They don't care about us. The only thing they care is our resources. So see, 4, 5, 6, 7. Within 4 days, there was this coup attempt. Now, okay, let me say 3 days apart. Let's see what happened there. Now, here is what makes it to be very, very strange. Why Imo State specifically? This man called Boris Johnson and the ambassador of Iran. What is happening in Imo State? Old Imo State is Biafra land, which is the heart of Biafra territory. You know, and our Biafrans are there in that old Imo State. And that same Imo State have faced a lot of military crackdown, a lot of military presence, killing Biafrans every day. In that same Imo State, we have tiger base, where the organs of Biafrans are harvested. And when they harvest it, they sell it to China, they sell it to UK, sell it to France. And I believe that Macron is already carrying an organ of a Biafran with the wife, because I don't know what that woman is still living for. They are all on life support with the organs from Biafrans because they get it very cheap. Why would a former British Prime Minister choose this location for an economic summit? Why? Why is the question? But I can't get an answer. Okay. Now, what was Shetima, the terrorist, doing there at the same time? The Imo Economic Summit wasn't just a state affair. Shetima was there, a nothing Muslim terrorist. He attended that program. Finance minister was, what were these people doing in Imo State? What account did they go to tally? What account did they go to balance? The sales of our youth organs, how much proceed that they have made? How many weapons that UK have sold to Nigeria terrorist government? What is the balance? How many barrels of oil would they give in return for whiskey? In return for the organs of our people? Because it is about money before you see finance minister attending the program as well. It's about money. You see? And we saw multiple federal officials present as well. So it wasn't just a state event. This was what I call federal operation disguised as a state summit. Those people went for a serious operation. What was Boris Johnson doing in Nigeria? What was he doing in Biafra land? And he attended as a keynote speaker, hosted by the terrorist Hope Uzodinjo. Boris Johnson, when he was there, declared Nigeria perfectly safe. Oh, it's a safe haven. Despite the US designation of Nigeria as CPC and the threatening of military intervention by President Trump, and the rally mall that was there documenting Christian massacre, the 600,000 plus Christians in IDP camp, I'm very happy that that man came by himself to see things for himself. All the global traveling warnings. This man called Boris Johnson traveled to Owerri. And he said, when I decided to come to Owerri, I read some things and people were saying he was so afraid to mention United States of America because he doesn't have the balls. He doesn't. There may be some security problems in Nigeria, so he doesn't even believe the security warnings that their own embassy cautioned them. And I said, well, I'm going to go anyway because he's going for money. So it is worth taking the risk. Now, you know, where the money from our crude oil and the whiskey that he's giving in return, weigh it and see. Does it tally? Let me ask you, that was what he said. Do you feel safe here today? Yes, we all feel safe. And I feel perfectly safe. That was a statement. Why would a former British Prime Minister go out of his way to contradict international security assessment? Is a question. This same man praised UK-Nigeria partnership. He spoke extensively about deepening UK-Nigeria ties, particularly in military operation, in training, in trade, oil and gas imports, and everything. And you know that 15% of UK oil comes from comes through a Gulf of Guinea. We made a program on this a few weeks ago. Security operations in the Gulf of Guinea, fighting piracy that costs $800 million annually. So, and he said, we send you pharmaceuticals, substandard medicine, bankers, services, and huge quality of whiskey. That is what the UK is giving in return. And the same thing is applicable to France. But guess who I blame? I blame our Biafrans, who have allowed them to go this far. Because when you sit down there, you stack your money. You refuse to bring your money for us to send out these people from our land. Kick out Boris Johnson, kick out France. If Burkina Faso can do it, we are richer, Biafrans are richer than Burkina Faso. 2 people or even 5 people can come together and we end Nigeria today in Biafra land. Yes, it is possible. Give us your IOU and you get 100-fold. So I blame Biafrans. Who is Boris Johnson to come and mock us with pharmaceuticals, fake drugs? So he's telling you already that what you are producing in Nigeria, the standard is low, that the ones they will send from UK is standardized enough. You see, that is what Boris Johnson came to do in Biafra land. And he did not end there. He avoided discussing real security issues. He did not visit the areas affected by Boko Haram. He did not visit IDP camp, just like what Rilamol did when he visited. That is a man with human heart. When that man came to, he went everywhere. He had videos, he took pictures with them, he asked questions so that he will have first class evidence. And the stupid Nigerians Islamic group came out and said, hey, he has come, you know, one of us told me that the pronunciation is a rally mold. So I used to call really. Thank you, my brother. So Rally Mall, I hope I've not mixed it up today. If I have, please forgive me. I will learn to pronounce it correctly. So they were jubilating, that he has come. Now US now will not come and release bomb their terrorists, blah, 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 blah. And then the next day, the man said, Bagam, this is what I came to do with pictures. Evidence-based. Gathered more evidence. Because you cannot bribe them. You cannot. First-hand information. This is not video recording. Live information, discussion. He relaxed. Oh, our brothers and sisters. He put himself in their shoes and still vowed that they will never suffer again. That US will still do what they were supposed to do. So this Boris Johnson that came did not even meet the victims of kidnapping. He did not even address his own citizen, the big elephant in the room. He did not address NNAMDI KANU. He did not even say, oh, hey, okay, at least by mistake or by default, mention his name. There was nothing like that. He was there to give Nigeria international legitimacy. And then it's, you know, to say, oh, everything is fine. Keep investing. Keep the oil flowing. Keep investing in Nigeria. Keep pumping weapons to them. If US is blocking, we are here to support them. We are here to fill them up. We have to be very, very clear that UK and France and China, all of them, Russia, have economic interest in our land. They are milking us. All the resources comes from our land. You as a Biafran, what are you doing about it? They have economic interest. They have military interest because do you know how much money they gain from training Nigerian terrorists? Huge amount of money. They have geopolitical interest because they feel Nigeria is Africa's most populous country. You see? So they have this interest as well. And they are getting money from it. So this is my little connection between this Boris Johnson and the Cotonou bombing that happened, because this man came December 4 and met with top Nigerian officials. Shetima was there, the Minister of Finance and other governors were there that have signed to kill Biafrans for what they call, unquote, economic summit. But behind closed doors, intelligence sharing about the potential coup in Benin was also discussed. And UK assured Nigeria of international support for that intervention. Because when you go back, you hear Johnson, he said, Nigeria is safe. Nigeria is safe. That statement alone provides cover for military deployment. My people, we have to wake up. We have to wake up and really understand what this man went to do in Nigeria with his cohort. He told you openly that Nigeria is safe. What? So you have every right to deploy your military to go and fight in another sovereign country because Nigeria is safe. He is justifying it, giving Nigeria more backup. Oh yeah, deploy them and go. If this coup occur, this is what you are supposed to do because Nigeria is safe. So if it is safe enough for former a British Prime Minister, then it is stable enough to project power abroad. That is the message. That's why I'm connecting him. Because this man knows very well that Nigeria is not safe. They also have to work together because they're in collaboration with France to make sure that the coup does not happen so that they will not lose that trade corridor between them and Nigeria. That trade corridor must continue to exist. The coup happened in December 7. I hope I've not mixed up the name. Nigeria intervened immediately with that UK intelligence that they shared. Boris Johnson visit 3 days prior to that visit gave that legitimacy to Nigeria. So we are partnering with responsible Nigeria. That is what Boris Johnson passed out there. Boris Johnson, sorry. So this is how neo-colonialism work in 2025, not through direct colonial rule, no, but through economic partnership. We are there. He said, don't worry, military training, they're still making money, intelligence sharing, they're still making, because intelligence sharing is not going to be for free. Are you following what I am saying? So, if the situation in Nigeria is safe, as Boris Johnson claimed, why do Western embassies still warn their citizens against travel? Note down this question. Why did Raleigh Moore come to investigate Christian persecution? Why are there 6,000 Christians, 600,000 Christians in IDP camp? Why did Boris Johnson time his visit for exactly 3 days before this regional military intervention happened? Why does UK support Nigeria's military action abroad but remain silent about the Nigerian military failure in their own country? You see, and we just saw, I will end this session with this Iranian ambassador so that we end everything with Imo State. We just saw Iranian ambassador so that when you pick mic, you have, a lot to, connect the dots. Help me connect it because this thing is deeper than what we are seeing. And we Biafrans, we have to wake up. Imo State, all Imo State is gone. Biafra land is gone if we don't wake up and fund this freedom. Iranian ambassador was in Imo State. Have Biafrans been sold to Islam? Is the question we should ask. Just days after Boris Johnson left, Bagam, Hope Uzodinjo, announced this visit. I had the honor of receiving the ambassador of Islamic Republic of Iran to Nigeria, His Excellency Gala. I'm reading from his handle, Galo, whatever. I'll pronounce the last word, Raja, at Imo State Governor's Lodge, Asokoro. This is what Hope Uzodinjo said. Our engagement was constructive. Hey, focus on doing, oh my goodness me. Oh. Hey, focus on exploring how Imo State can benefit from the long-standing bilateral relationship between Nigeria and Iran. Why is it Imo State? So Imo State now has become the capital of Nigeria. Why Imo State? What mineral resources do we have in Imo State? Is the question. So that Biafrans will wake up and know that if we don't fund our freedom, hey, This one, it is going to touch each and every one of us. Common for you to sit at home, you are crying, you want to go and sell nkwobi in your market, you want to go and sell new bra, you want to go and sell new pants so that people will buy and wear Christmas, you want to go and sell a canopy, you want to go and sell Igbo blouse, you want to sell okporoko because you are alive. Are you sure you will even be alive to celebrate Christmas in what is happening? Sit at home. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Sit at home. Let us send these people out of Biafra land. Now, he said, with a view to, listen to what Hope Uzodinma is going to do with Iran terrorist groups. He's with a view of, you can go to his handle, this is from his handle, a view to attracting investment. What is that investment? Come and buy the body organs of Biafrans. I will sell to you at a cheaper rate. Attracting investment, enhancing capacity, and fostering sustainable growth. That is what Hope Uzodinma is signing again, maintaining long-standing bilateral relationship between Nigeria and Iran. Are you following? So Imo State, we all know, is where Biafrans are staying. Is now hosting Iranian ambassador and promising all this renewal. And we know who Iran is. We know Iran very well. An Islamic theocracy. We know it very well. A state-sponsored terrorism that US designated. This information are out there. And they support Hezbollah, Hamas, and all that. They're already an enemy of Israel and the West. We all know this. And Hope Uzodinma is bringing him, welcoming him with arms open and say, come to Imo State. So the pattern is very clear. December 4th, Boris Johnson in UK. Days later, Iranian ambassador in UK. With Shetima, simultaneously we saw Shetima there, heavily involved in Imo affairs. Why? And we see what is ongoing, and that Tinubu just appointed him again as renewed hope ambassador. What is going on in Imo State is the question we should be asking ourselves. What is happening? November 25, he got this appointment, Renew Hope Ambassador, Director General for Party Outreach, Engagement and Mobilization. What is he mobilizing? His job is to evangelize Tinubu agenda to make sure Tinubu returns to office in 2027. So Hope Uzodinma is now the face of Tinubu's government. Now they have made Imo State to be the capital of terrorism. They have made Imo State to be the capital of Nigeria when it comes to terrorism, when it comes to killing of Biafrans. And you, Biafrans that they are killing, what are you doing with your money? So that we can build our security, so that we can defend our territory. This is the man that is hosting Iranian diplomats in Biafra land. What is Iran's interest in Imo State? Are they going to do Shiite expansion in Imo State? The other day, we saw somebody that came and disgraced his generation that is doing Quran in Igbo. It's a taboo. It's haram. He cannot even do it. But he did it to see the reaction of Biafrans. If we keep quiet, it will trend. So is this man coming to expand Shiite? Because they have been spreading Shiite Islam across Africa. Is he coming? Because Imo State have the biggest mosque in Biafra land. Nigeria already has Islamic movement of Nigeria called IMN. You see, which is pro-Iran Shiite group. And Iran fund mosque, we know it, schools and cultural centers. Is Imo being targeted for Islamic conversion? In this Iran also, the interest also lies in our mineral resources. Because they believe Imo State, old Imo State, have oil and gas. They have lead, they have zinc, they have limestone. Iran wants access to that. Iran is interested in geopolitical positioning because it's isolated by US sanction already. So they are now forming alliance with those that US have already sanctioned, which is Nigeria. And now they need African allies as well. And guess where they have chosen to come and put their taproot? Old Imo State in Biafra land. And Biafrans are seeing what is happening and say, Nsimbege, wetin concern me? It will concern you if you don't bring your money for us to defend our land. It will concern you. They want to have access to our West African market and diplomatic cover. That is what Iran is interested in. He's interested in anti-Western agenda. So Iran opposed Western influence. So partnering with Nigeria to keep Biafran suppressed Iran's anti-Western agenda. Why are all of them waking up? Is the question you should ask. It is because of the action, diplomatic engagement, the pressure, the recognition, the credibility of Biafra Republic government in exile, headed by our APM Ogechukwu Nkere. That is why they are springing up. If you go to the handle of our lobbies, you will see the way he's giving to them woto. So they are panicking. You that is a Biafran, what are you doing? Are you stepping up? Or you want every day with open space? You come to the listening section, stay and listen and listen and listen and listen and listen. And what is the use without you supporting your freedom? Have you shared this space as you have joined? Have you messaged your people to sit at home 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 so that we can kick out Boris Johnson, kick out Iran? Now you see they are increasing. Iran has joined. China is already there. Broader Islamization agenda is going on. In the north already, 12 states have Sharia. Boko Haram has taken over. In the Middle Belt, we can see Christian farming communities are systematically attacked, killed. Fulani headers have taken over their land. We've seen churches that are burnt. Now in Biafra land, Iranian ambassador is being hosted in our own land. Islamic partnership is being explored and we are keeping quiet. Who is facilitating this? Hobus or Dinjo? And we are keeping quiet. Is this the final phase? Is Biafra land being sold to Islam? Is my question. Is the question that I'm still asking. Why is the governor of a predominantly Christian state hosting the Iranian ambassador discuss partnership? That is another question. What investment could Iran bring to Imo State that would not come with strings attached? I'll read out these three questions. We see the one that we can answer. What investment could Iran bring to Imo State that will not come with some strings attached to it, specifically Islamic cultural and religious influence? Why did Boris Johnson visit 3 days before Iranian ambassador? Is Hobus Odinjo betraying Biafrans by opening door to Islamic Republic of Iran? So I'm going to start from the second question. What investment could Iran bring to Imo State that would not come with strings attached, conditions attached, specifically Islamic cultural and religious influence? Totiville, your hand is up. You want to answer, please go ahead. My co-host, Toti, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm Tutos. I'm here. Am I
Yeah,
coming out, please?
yeah, please.
Sorry, you guys should pardon my voice. I'm having so much cold. Let me just use this opportunity to, salute every one of us here, and also salute our supreme leader, NNAMDI KANU, our internal leader, Ojukwu, and also Prime Minister, and also our acting Prime Minister, His Excellency Honorable Ojukwu Nkere, and the host. Thank you for hosting us today. The co-host, Mazi Onyenge, and then the rest of 1 million, 1 million Sayoneka, greetings. Yeah, Holland, the Mazi Onyeka. Yeah, greetings. And senior citizen Stella, greetings to you, Mazi David, our own senior citizen again, Ben Wabo. The greetings, Sister Eunice, and every one of us here. We don't have much time. Let me just rush and answer the question that our host Tutos just asked regarding what Boris Johnson came to do in Biafra land, because Boris Johnson came to Biafra, and then there's a reason why Boris Johnson came to Biafra land. Tutos, the reason why, you've already answered all these questions that you're asking, you've already answered all the whole question. If every one of us here are paying attention to with whatever you have been saying here on the space. But let me just give my own 20 cents, the way I understand and the way I've come to analyze the coming of Boris Johnson with the Iranian so-called political representative to Biafra, which is the old Imo state. First, the status quo, the evil status quo of the British is now being questioned. I will use Biafra land. It's not the status quo is not being questioned in Nigeria. It's being questioned in Biafra land. And there's a reason why I'm using Biafra land as a yardstick for every one of us to understand and begin to wake up what the Biafra Republic government, regarding what the Biafra Republic government in exile is doing in Washington, D.C. I want every one of us to wake up because some of us are not following the activities of the Biafra Republic government in exile in Washington, D.C. Now, the reason why I say the evil status quo of the British is being questioned, and who is not questioning that evil British status quo in Biafra land? The United States of America, and most especially the President, Donald J. Trump. Now, if you look recently, Trump's policy regarding Africa is bringing a lot of dissatisfaction and maybe threat to the European nation, including the British, because all of them are the same thing. Whether British option out from the European Union, they all are the same. They are the colonialists. They are the colonizers. And that status quo, the way they have designed Africa to be in subjugation, is now being questioned by Donald Trump and the United States of America, because we have good governance in the United States of America today. So that is why you see Boris Johnson running helter-skelter, going to Imo State to prepare his puppets. Because, you know, some people might, what I want to say now, some people might say, it's not going to be possible, but let's just put every card on the table. Something big is coming. The way I'm saying, something big is coming, and the so-called illegitimate Southeast governors might be called. They might be called to answer some questions. If certain things will have to be, or if certain things will not have to be. Now, before I go further, let me read one of the policy and concerns of Donald Trump regarding Africa. Donald Trump publicly expressed concern about Africa as largely focused on specific, often controversial issues in individual nations, rather than comprehensive continent-wide policy. His engagement is frequently described as transactional and has drawn significant criticism for its focus on race-related issues, aid cuts, and derogatory languages. Now, they are criticizing the policy for or the concern of Donald Trump towards Africa. Now they know this European Union. They are always how am I going to put it? They are always hypocritical. They say things, but they don't do them, because they are in charge and they are the ones making those resources directly without the third party. And that is why now they are not criticizing the focus, because Donald Trump wants where things will be working. He wants where things will be working, not promise and faith. And that is why they also what one of his concern, his major concern, transactional. Give me, I give you, I will let things move forward. Because this world is all about transactions. But the European Union and the British empires, they don't want to transact anything with anybody. They just want to sit on your head, sit on your shoulder, and continue to make you. So that is the evil status quo. And Donald Trump is very open. Donald Trump is very open for anybody that will come and say, do this for us, this is what we'll do for you. And that is what the European Union and the British Empire are afraid. Now, let me take you guys to what happened in Ukraine during the time Donald Trump wanted to stop that war. And even when he comes back again and trying to stop the war, the first time that went to Ukraine, that made the war in Ukraine to continue up to this moment, is this Boris Johnson. You should not forget. Zelensky have already agreed with Donald Trump that, okay, we will see how to sit on the table and negotiate with Russia and stop or stop the escalation or stop the war. But immediately this Boris Johnson went to Ukraine and sat down with Zelensky, the whole thing turned around until Donald Trump left office, and the war continues and continue to continue up to even when Donald Trump came the second time and tried to stop that. And if you watch the policy of Donald Trump, it's all about transactional. Come, give me this, I give you this, I will make things happen. But because of this evil interest, because I call it interest, it's not a good interest. The British and the European does not have, and I believe that they are listening. Let them, they have to change because time have changed. We are no more in the colonial era when you come with your barrels of guns to take the people's resources without their consent. We have passed that stage. The world have evolved. And the only person that I'm seeing today that have come to understand that the world has evolved, for them now to be able to work with the rest of the world, and most especially the African continent, where 80% or 85% of the resources in this world is only Donald Trump. You need to spice things up. He needs to make everybody comfortable. And anybody that doesn't want to fall in line in trying to evolve in this new era, he will put that person aside. And we should also not forget, Donald Trump did not seek the consent of British before he sent his delegate, or before he came to speak against or about the genocide of Christians in Nigeria. And that has triggered the European nation and also the British nation. And if you go to all these fake political analysts, go to some of their papers, you will see the way they are criticizing Trump's policy, most especially in Africa. Now I read this. In late 2025, Trump threatened military action against Nigeria, citing concerns over the violent killings of Christians and violation of religious freedom, a move rejected by the Nigerian government. This Nigerian government that is rejecting this move, of which we all know, it came from the British and the European unions. It came from them. So they are afraid because they don't know what Trump will do next. And they have come to understand that, yes, the only place that is so resourceful is the Biafra land. Because all these things they are doing, that the Northern Protectorate and the Southern, no, the Southern Protectorate, the Southern is the one that is feeding the North. Despite the so-called gold, uranium, and lithium, and so on and so forth that they are doing there. No. Where the Greenland is in Biafra land. Where you will put something on the ground and it will germinate into whatever you want it to be. That is the target. And that is also the target of these Islamic extremists in the world. My dear tutor said something about the Iranian representative. Have we all forgot that Iran is a major terrorist sponsor in the world, most especially in Nigeria? Have we forgotten? Have we forgotten that Iran is a major sponsor of terrorists? But Donald Trump dealt with them. So the reason why you saw that man with Boris Johnson is because they are working hand in hand. Whatever that is happening in Nigeria and in Biafra land today is all the making of the British and their counterparts, the Iranians. They should come and debunk it. Why would both of them come? Because in Biafra land is what they are sucking the resources to forge, to push their Islamization agenda. That is where they are getting the resources from. So they have to make sure that they protect the southern region. And what you saw Boris Johnson, because he has gone to talk to his puppets, that if along the line, every one of you are being called for questioning regarding what is happening, what you want, make sure you support us. That is what Boris Johnson and the so-called Iranian representative went to Biafra land to do. because we are getting to that stage. You know, sometimes I'm not in the mind of our acting prime minister, but sometimes you read meanings from people's from what people say and the expression on their faces. You will read meaning to it because our acting prime minister have been saying there's a big news coming, there's a big news coming, and I believe it will get to that point when Trump will want to hear from us. And what is paining me the most is that some of our people are still sleeping. They don't understand what diplomacy is all about. You know, our people just want where they will just take cutlass and do chat chat. You understand? Everybody there will just buy, you know, and let them be seeing those things. But that is why the Oyibos, they said if you want to hide something from a black man, put it in the book. Our people have not come to understand that where the power lies is in the book, not in that weapon, because the book controls the weapon. And that is why I'm 100% in support of what our acting prime minister is doing in Washington, D.C. The book controls the gun. Because we are in a democratic era now. We are not in the military regime anymore. So in this era that we are now, the book controls the weapon. But in the military regimes, the gun controls the book. Because they are dictators. They say the military person will tell you this is what you have. But in this era now, the book controls the weapon. That is why we have democratic elections these days, where people come up and speak their voices and vote their choice, who they want them to govern, who they want to govern them. But Chukwuokike Abbiama will disappoint all those so-called Southeast politicians. Because we are getting there, but we will cross that river. So Boris Johnson have come to prepare their mind. Because Boris Johnson know that this opportunity will come. They know what Briggy and Briggy Lobbies is doing. They know everything. So they are now running helter skelter. 2 days ago, when our information minister hosted the space here, you know, when Tutos was my sister Tutos was giving her submission, he said something about the whiskey. Let me go back to that whiskey. Tutos, do you remember when you talked about the whiskey Boris Johnson talked about? You understand? So that whiskey, many of us might be seeing it as normal whiskey that we normally take, you know, to warm our skins whenever we feel somehow cold. That whiskey, for you know, when Tutor said that thing, I just clicked on it and I said, it's true. That whiskey means backing. It might mean weapon, it might mean political backing, it might mean, you understand? It means a backing to the corrupt and illegitimate current Southeast governors and politicians. He has come to promise them something, that whatever Trump wants to do in Nigeria, we should not forget when Trump was saying that he will send the American troops to come and, you know, deal with the terrorists. Where was the place? Where was the geographical place they were choosing? They choose as a base. Did they choose the northern side? No. Did they choose the western side? No. They chose Port Harcourt. And you know what that Port Harcourt means to the British colonial empires? You know what it means to them? So they are panicking. The British colonial empire, because I will continue calling them colonial empire, because they have not come to realize that we have passed the era of colonization, that they need to involve with this new age where everybody have come to understand and have seen the injustice in that so-called contraction called Nigeria. Instead of them to start changing this, they are still, because it's the same, that same agenda in the so-called amalgamation in 1914. That is the same agenda that is still playing up to. Can anybody tell me if that agenda have changed in any way or other since 1914? Can somebody here just tell me that the agenda, that 1914 so-called Southern and the Northern Protectorate, can anybody tell me that if that agenda have changed? It has not changed. It is an agenda of colonization for you not to rise. Go to the street of all Africans is the same thing. If you are in Tanzania, there's some places you'll be in Tanzania, you think maybe you are somewhere in Enugu State. There are some places you will be in Burkina Faso, you will think maybe you are somewhere in Ajegule. There's some place you will be in DJ. You will think maybe you are somewhere in Asaba. Do you think it's just do you think it's a mistake, or maybe it's just it is a planned agenda? No one should let them be the same thing, the same. That is why you see this act of terrorism all over the African continent. It's still the agenda of the that is why you see the reason why because Tutos, you were saying something regarding the so-called bombardment of Nigeria in the Republic. The reason why, and this is part of they are afraid of Trump. And the reason why they acted this swift, is for not to allow Trump to speak about it. Because once Trump say anything about any place, the man no dey forget, and he must act on it. That is why Macron called his puppet boy, the drug lord, Tinubu, go and strike him. And even Tinubu did not even take any authorization from their so-called National House of Assembly. Because normally, the House of Assembly need to approve any international so-called invasion or maybe attention or peacekeeping. Tinubu does not have that power. Because the reason why they acted this swift this time, because they don't want it to escalate in a way that it will not come for Trump to say anything about it. Even the time, although people might have their own political differences, even when Burkina Faso on happened, Trump did not say anything bad about the guy, about Traore. He was even invited Traore to come. And the so-called Europeans were so angry. Why would Trump be inviting a dictator, somebody that committed coup, blah, 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 and this and that to come? Because Trump wants to stop all this colonial mentality that they have in Africa and some part of the world that are destroying the peace of the world. Trump wants to stop all those nonsense. And once you come to his level and give him something reasonable to follow, he might do the undoable. So these colonial empires, they are afraid of Trump concern in Biafra land. I'm not talking, you can call it Nigeria, but in Biafra land, because that is where the so-called Islamization agenda of the so-called Nigeria and the world lies upon. We should not forget this. That is the place every one of them, all the Islamic countries, organizations in the world, that is their target. That place is their launching pad. And the Islamic nation that is spearheading the terrorism in Nigeria today is Iran. Followed by Turkey and the rest of them. But the major one is Iran. So they are coming to protect that their demonic interests. But when we get to that bridge, what they are trying to cover, we will cross it, because they will be so much disappointed when the time comes. And that is why every one of us need to start paying attention. You out there that is saying that you want to see what the Biafra Republic government in exile is doing before you come and do what you're supposed to do, put your heads down and start reading between the lines and start watching closely what is happening in Washington, D.C. Keep listening to the lobbies and follow every statement that is making on X and make use of it and know that, yes, Biafra is almost here. It all depends the way we play our card. And that is why we see sometimes our acting prime minister will come, he will tell everybody to unite and support what we are doing, because now is the time for us to intensify our diplomatic battle in Washington, D.C., most especially because we have gotten the book to control the guns. So everybody needs to pay attention. You out there sitting on the fence, under the fence, thinking that maybe keep paying attention and keep supporting what the Biafra Republic government in exile is doing in Washington, D.C. And everyone
Can anybody still hear him?
No.
Oh, internet has kicked him out. Wow, that submission was great. Toti, can you hear us?
You have talked enough. Let another person take mic. You don't talk more than 1 hour.
Oh, it never reached 1 hour. Senior citizen, go again after that. Onyeka,
Yeah.
sorry.
Thank you, because our brother was making a whole lot of sense. You understand? Britain have refused to evolve. That is the truth. Britain have refused to evolve. This is 21st century, but Britain and his gang wants to take us back to the medievals. That's why, because you see this their mentality of I conquer you, you become slave, you pay tribute and stuff like that. That is the way they are still seeing things. Exactly the same way Iran and all these Arabic Muslim wars are seeing the same thing. I'm talking about Iran in Imo State. Iran, Fulani is originally from Iran now. This is the secret.
Should I read the question for you?
Eh?
Should I read the question for you? You still remember?
No. I
Okay.
remember the question.
Okay.
I'm connecting everything because it's like somebody giving the same.
Yeah, exactly. It's connected.
We are no more answering questions, but we are answering all the questions you asked.
Yeah,
Because you
it's
asked a lot of
connected.
questions. Yeah. So I was writing down. So, because you asked a question, what is the Iran ambassador doing in Imo State? What is Boris doing in Imo State? And I wanted to tell you, Iran, Fulani are the cousins of Iran. Fulani is called Fulani Mujahid Arabs. They are originally from Iran. And when Iran saw that these people are, because they are genetic intermixed breed of Iran and the Nephilims. And when they now found out that these Fulani will continue to create havoc for them, they push them down to Futa Jalon. They get into Futa Jalon. The ethnics in Futa Jalon there, the tribes there, saw what Fulani is still doing. They pushed them out. And while they were looking for who to follow and where to go to, they met Ottoman Danfodio. And that was how Ottoman that they became entangled themselves with Ottoman Danfodio and their agenda. And this is how they came into that geographical location from the northern part and attacked Sokoto and entered. They entered even before the colonial masters. So Iran, Fulani are the cousins of Iran. So when you see Iran, it's like their father, it's like their forefather, it's like their boss, it's like their godfather. Let me use the word Allah father. That's what Iran is to the Fulanis. So when he came, it's just like what Gumi has been acting. If you know all the acting and the positions and whatever Gumi is doing, this is exactly what Iran is doing to Nigeria Muslims. Iran is their godfather, is their mediator, is their advisor, is their
Sorry, please,
negotiator.
Sister Stella, please, sorry, 1 minute. Sister Tito, try to refresh this space, okay?
Okay,
Sister
since
Stella,
you've come up, yeah,
Sister Stella, you can go on.
I'll refresh now since you've come up.
So you understand now why Iran went there. And like our brother also said, they are the deadliest terrorist country all over the whole world. They are number one. They also have others, like in Turkey, like in Iraq, Afghanistan, all the same. But I'm telling you, the real connection here is their brothers. And was like their godfather. So it was like coming around to know what is happening to my cousins or my brothers and sisters. He wants to reassure them that they have their back. Like Papa have your back. And Hope Uzodinja is not 100% Biafra. Hope Uzodinja is a genetic intermixed breed of Fulani and Biafra. So he's making sure he's carrying out the beats. So he has like built the number one mosque in Biafra land. They said he built the biggest mosque all over Nigeria in Biafra land. Who did it? Hope Uzodinja and gang. And then Boris coming to Imo State was like, I am your colonial papa. You understand? So, he told you that he came to give you whiskey so that you drink and get stupor. You understand? It was like, all of you Biafrans, shut up and listen to Papa. So, Papa Boris, Papa Britain, your godfather is also here. You must obey. You must abide by the rules. But the truth is that, you were asking, what did they see in Imo State? They saw lead, they saw zinc, they saw limestone, they saw crude oil, they saw gas, uranium, gold. And which one is the newest mineral resources they were coming for? The newest and the latest one that is booming for them now is Biafran's organs. So they are making sure that the organ harvesting is flowing to their country, flowing to Iran, flowing to Britain, flowing to China, flowing to all these countries that are fighting us, that wouldn't want us to free ourselves. So this is what happened. And I wanted to also say that anywhere Boris goes, evil follows. Anywhere you see Boris Johnson go to, evil happens there. The truth is that our land is being infiltrated. But our people are there afraid also for their lives, praying to God. Because if you say, let's have another referendum, maybe Britain, America will now say, okay, let's do election. Let's see what Biafrans are. Biafra, well over 50 million have voted. I'm telling you, totally now, Biafra are like over 80 million. 80 millions, there won't be anyone left. 80 millions of Biafra will vote yes, 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 once more to exit Nigeria. So when you see them keeping quiet and shivering, they are afraid of their lives. They are afraid, and they are so much infiltrated that they don't even know anymore who is who. To the extent now that they saw Fulani coming. Fulani have entered old Anambra. The same Biafrans are calling for Udogachi to come and help them. Can you imagine? The same Biafrans are calling for the governor that are terrorists. Hey! Sponsor and support of terrorists. The same Biafrans are, you see the problem they're having. But inside their hearts, they want to leave. In fact, throw another self-referendum. 80 million, more than 80 million children will even vote to leave. Talk more of adults. Normally they will tell you from 18 years up, vote. I tell you, allow little children. You see, Kamsi wasn't up to 18, but he wants to leave Nigeria. Abomination is going on in Nigeria and in Biafra land. And our people know about it. I'm telling you, our people are tired of coexisting in Nigeria. And in fact, that was why well over 50 million voted yes to exit, and Biafra has been redeclared. And this is what is going to happen because of this redeclaration on the 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. That's going to be a total lockdown. So that the Biafra Defense Forces will evict a lot of them out of our land. So Biafrans, and I know you guys are going to listen and sit down. Biafrans are loyal only to BDF, only to Biafra Republic government in exile and de facto government in homeland. And they know terrorist Nigeria government know that Biafrans will sit down on the 15th, on the 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th. They are getting worried and afraid. Because they know Biafrans will really sit down. Because they know Biafrans are tired of them. Biafrans are sick and tired of Nigeria. Living in Nigeria. They don't have anything to show for it. Upon all the mineral resources, and when you hear Nigeria and mineral resources, it's in Biafra land. Now, Biafrans don't have anything to show for it. No good road. No backbone water. No 24 hours electricity. No job. No food. No hospital, equipped hospitals. No ambulance. No fire service. No license or embassy. Nothing. This Boris, you will die quick. No wonder. God is already paying you guys back. But you guys are, who will even help you, Britain? Common men or common man in Britain, common people who will help you. Your government is so much messed up that you guys are there. Arabs are wallowing. Except you guys are originally. But I know your leaders are originally Arabs. But Britain as a people, they are not originally from Arab. So why are you guys keeping quiet? And your leaders are creating abomination and heaping curses upon you as a people, Britain. British, rise up. Stop your government in their wickedness all over the whole world. Because the curses will get to you and you can't run away from it. Because all of you in Britain are supposed to rise up and stop your government. So, Nigeria has become a joke. A real joke. So you can imagine Tinubu taking a decision without the consent of their parliament. You understand? That shows that he has been a puppet, that he's not really him ruling Nigeria. So, Macron is ruling Nigeria. Gumi is ruling Nigeria. Listen, Nigeria have so many presidents. Gumi is the president of Nigeria. Macron, president of Nigeria. Give me their names. Shatima, president of Nigeria. Sultan of Sokoto, president of Nigeria. What do you call him? Tinubu should be, this is number 1, 2, 3, 4. Tinubu should be somewhere on number 8, number 8. So all these people will talk first. Macron will talk, Gumi will talk, Sultan of Sokoto will talk. Give me other names. There's other people that are bigger than the Gumi. Even they are bigger than Tinubu. Even Tinubu's son is even more powerful than Tinubu himself. Yeah, so in fact, Nigerians are now worried about Tinubu's son. So Tinubu's son will come before Tinubu. So Tinubu is on number 8. That is, so all these people are all the presidents that no wonder Tinubu couldn't even open. In fact, Tinubu was crying for his life last time, saying, I can't help it. I can't. It's not only me that can decide. If Mazen Nandi Kanu can come out, it's not in his power to do. Can you imagine can you imagine a president telling you that it's not in his hands, it's not in his power to release Mazen Nandi Kanu? You know why? He's correct. Because there's Macron, there's Boris himself. Boris, I forgot his name. There's Boris. There's Gumi. There's Shatima. Before he even, there's his son. Before I even get to him. And then you tell me this is a country? Dissolve Nigeria. Nigeria government is killing Nigerians. Nigeria government is killing Nigerians. You have also heard the former general, army general in military and army, said it. T.Y. Danjuma. That Nigeria government, Nigeria military facilitate the movements of the bandits. They supply ammunition to the bandits. And the Nigeria government kill Nigerians. He told Nigerians, rise up, defend yourselves. This is not the time you cry. This is the time you look for stick and stone and knife and AK-47. Anything you can to get. Defend yourselves and defend your family. If not, so Fulani will rape your wife, rape your daughter, rape your husband, rape your pregnant woman, wife in front of you, and you won't be able to do anything. And also kill you on top of it. And also roast you on top of it. And also eat you and do video for us to see. Guys, you have seen them eating Biafrans. You have seen Fulani eating Nigerians. They do the video and they make it go viral and we watch it. And this is the people you want Biafrans to continue to coexist with? God forbid and God forbid. Thank you, Tuko, for the opportunity you have given me. Bye from here.
Okay, thank you very much for that, your submission. Our Mazi Totti, please, we know that you have a lot to minister to Biafrans, and you are going to as well tell Biafrans about our sit-at-home going on. But for now, hold on, let us bring Mazi Nko number to speak before we will hand over back the mic to you. Thank you very much. Nko number, are you there? Take over the mic.
Much, thank you, thank you, the host, tutors, all protocol observed. Yes, Nigeria can bomb Benin, but can't bomb terrorists in Nigeria. Is obvious, and the people that I love what is happening. I really love what is happening, and is opportunity. I see it's opportunity that the people, our Biafrans and other Nigerians who truly, if they truly want to be free, ought to take advantage of this. And like I've been saying since morning, I'm telling some African that this has proven that Nigeria is not just the problem of the indigenous people in that geospace, but the entire Africa, especially the West Africa. That our Africa should rise up against that Nigeria. Not the people, but the politicians, the proscribed politicians and the terrorist uniform men and women. So they are the people you should focus on and dismantle. Nigeria is point of Western dominance in Africa. All these Western imperialists, Arab. We should hit on Arab. Africa should know that Arab is one of the number one enemy of Africa, number one enemy of the world. Tinubu has proven that yes, that he cannot, is being controlled, that is a puppet to the core, like last week I just said. Tinubu is puppet. He just a photo, is a president on a page of newspaper, and after the decision making decision, then he come and execute it. They will use him to execute it. Finish. He don't make decision on his own. Just like the governors. We don't forget Soludo. Just to collect all the comment he made before the second, because his second tenor was approaching. So Tosan of Sokoto will write script and give to him. Go and demonize Igbos. Go and make Fulani make the image of Fulani. Go and say Igbos are the problem. Go and say all the criminals arrested, they are Igbos. Go and destroy the sacred places in Igbo land. All those things you see are the things they ask him to do because of the content. So that is what Tinubu is doing, and I love it. I want it to escalate. I hope the Ibrahim Traoré never release that fighter jet and those men, all those 11 soldiers. You hold them, never release them. I love the situation, love what is playing out. And Biafrans, what I have to tell you is this: let us take advantage of what is going on. There's something you must understand, Biafrans. Watch those who will die most this time around and those who are afraid. Those who will die most are those who are afraid. If you don't want to die, stop being afraid. Yes. If you don't want to die, prepare for war. If you don't want to die, prepare to fight. This is my message to you. Prepare to fight, prepare for war. Those who will die most, just mark it, are those who are afraid, those who don't want to fight, those who claim they don't want war. They are the people who die most. And I can assure you, based on history, it is not something that is not a rocket science, and it's not I'm not prophesying, and I'm not telling you spiritual something. It's facts. Watch out, those who will be served are those who prepare for war, those who are not, who refuse to be afraid. They are those who will be served most. That those who will die most are those who are afraid to speak the truth, to speak. You know, one thing the enemy is using is this. When the enemy come where there are 10 people now, and they throw one person says something, and they threaten that one person, and the rest keep quiet, the rest 9 keep quiet. They watch, nobody talk to support that one person. They watch, nobody talk. They move in to come and you know, to trap that one person down. But when they see that one person talk, they throw threats, and a second person, another person support that one person, another person support, another person support, another person support. They will fall back. They will retreat. This is how it works, and I wish my people will understand this. When you see one person speaking the truth, back the person up. That is why my Alafia was killed. And my Alafia had backup from the Christian, from the men of God, had backup from him. My Alafia wouldn't have died, would have been alive today. We must understand this. So that when we see, we back out somebody who is speaking the truth, back him out. And let me tell you something. The more you are afraid to speak the truth, the more the fear is overwhelming or enveloping you. You are being enveloped to fear. And let me tell you something. You take courage, you take boldness, take the situation of a Trump scenario. When Trump with that opportunity is opportunity that anybody who is afraid is supposed to use to rise up and destroy that fear and conquer that fear, which we see Odumeje did that, exactly that. And now you see those who are for you, who are for real. It is now. And not on those who refuse to talk, who refuse to do anything. Then you have to, from now, separating the chaff from the wheat. Separating the chaff from the wheat. And support those who are real. Now you know those who are real and know those who are fake. You see, what is happening, what all these people, like somebody mentioned, I think, Marituto. You see that moron that is claiming he want to talk about Quran or whatever, Islam in our land. Next time you see that moron, blind that idiot eyes. Listen, let me tell you something, dear friends. If you leave that man to be going freely, that means you see destruction of your children. You see what will exterminate your race, and you allow it. Yes, you answer query. You see how they come to bomb church. If you are sensible, won't you go and destroy the mosque? Go and destroy the mosque. And you're there looking like a zombie. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? You must rise up. You must do something, because the more you are there looking like Dundee, the more they are test running you. Test running. They have done that one now. They see how you react. Another one will be spontaneous. Happening here at the same time. That is what they are planning. And if you fail to arm the only defense forces that have proven capable of doing the needful, you fail to bring that money. In fact, that money, the way it goes, you won't be able to tell. Because, like I said, if it happen in 10 places, BDF have manpower to counter it. That is when the logistics are there. But when the logistics are not there, you won't expect them to go do so. I'm always giving you illustration, something to ask yourself question. Ask yourself question. Who are the people who fought to keep Nigeria one? Who are the people? They may do better. In fact, Yoruba people fought, but they are the people who are strong soldiers. Even when you have all among the Nigerian soldiers, those who are when Nigerian soldiers are not destroyed, there, apart from Biafran people who have the highest snipers, because highest snipers from Biafran soldiers in Nigeria, they are the people that have the highest snipers. Okay? Yes. Apart from that, then middle belt. When you hear about ambush, those who died in that ambush were middle belters, where more than 5,000 Zoo soldiers were destroyed with Ogbunigwe. Yet, look at how they've been killed. Britain did not even, but it just did not even go. He came to Nigeria. But I want you to reason. Oh, the reason, you moron, you idiotic fluff. The reason. But the just he came to Nigeria, did not even care to know whether they exist. You know, you don't care to know what is going on there. Then, if the Gowan is there, if they cannot speak, T.Y. Danjuma has been there several times. He spoke. It was in Britain. He said they collude. He said armed forces are not neutral. They collude. They collude with armed bandits to kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movement. They cover them. If you're waiting for them to protect you, you will all die. Unquote. T.Y. Danjuma was who? Former chief of armed staff. If you don't believe what Mazdan can say, if you don't take that of Mazdan can, or the one who had telling you, if you don't take it, how about that man? He knows better than we know. He was once the chief of arms. There are secrets. He knows that most of us don't, all of us don't know. Yes. But he tell you this, that the armed forces, the military, the police that are not there to protect you, that they are working hand in hand with the terrorists. And this, he said this before, far before you will begin to see them repentant coming, say they're putting them, you know, before they will tell you that they graduate 50,000 or 50 terrorists. You know that they're already putting 50,000, not 50. If they tell you 50, you know that they're already 50,000. And they have their own special barrack. But there's something I observe, my people, I want us to reason this. It's like there's something, there is radicalization in Nigerian military or even police. There's how they radicalize them automatically. I don't know, systematically, they don't know. When you see anybody from South that go through Nigeria, immediately come out, he will hate the certain civilian. He will hate our people. And that hate, he will not channel it to the north. He will just hate our people. When he come here, he begin to sometimes you begin to even to speak that outside this thing, as if there's how is it the way some system that what they're teaching them or how they are the thing is structured. Because when you see the person automatically displaying that hatred, all the people I've seen that go through infantry that join Nigeria, immediately they come out, they display the same character. You see that Osman Danfodio military?
Onyeka, can you hear me?
Yeah, my lady.
Yeah, please wrap up. I need to close this space and have some sleep. Please don't be. Yeah, we
It's okay,
still
no
have.
problem.
Yeah.
It's okay. So, fellow Biafrans, you see what we need now. We are lucky that we have those who are ready to put their life online. I am telling you, if we fail to take what happened to others and take advantage of what they give us, because people say God have done everything for us. I don't do any of that prayer. God have done everything for us. The rest is our duty. If you fail to do it, He still will not be kind with us. Bring that money now, so that you will not cry harder. Thank you so much, dear friends. And again, please, my people, let us encourage our people to register S. Those in Biafra land, make sure that every family have one person or two person that have S account. Let us make this as a duty. Every family have one person that have S account. I think that will go a long way. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mazi Onyeka. I think your message is very, very loud and clear. And it is only those that have ear that will receive the message. Without wasting much of our time, we like to bring our brother Toti. Toti, you can unmute yourself.
Michael, sorry, before Toti comes, so Toti, don't worry, you have the chance, please. I just want to have a recap for people that are just joining us for them to know what we've been talking about. We've talked on the, what is it called? How Nigeria bombed Benin Republic, and then we extended it to Boris Johnson, a suspicious visit, connecting him to what happened in Benin Republic, because UK has a hand there. And then what is happening? Why is it Imo State that all of them are running into right now? Hope Uzodinma, is it turning Imo State to Islamic State? What is the interest? Why are they, giving him all this position? And then immediately Boris Johnson left, Iranian ambassador also went to Imo State that he hosted. What is going on in Imo State? So we had some questions there. This is just a recap for those that are joining us. Yeah, so that's just what I wanted to say. Okay, Toti, please go ahead. My co-host, check your back channel, please. Onyenye, sorry.
Yeah, thank you very much, Tutos. I was talking when they kicked me out earlier, but let me just, in a nutshell, just finalize what I was trying to make the Biafran people and also the international community, for those that cares about what is happening in our land, to understand is that, based on the concerns of Trump in Africa and this policy, now there are there are areas of key concerns and action from the Trump administration regarding African nations, as included South Africa one. South Africa one. Now they now said other African nations. The first one in those other African nations is Nigeria. Nigeria, where Trump is concerned now to know what is happening there, what is causing the death of Christians, how to fight the evil that has been existing in that so-called Nigeria, that has been taking the lives of Nigerians and also the Biafran people. And that is why you see some of the European countries and the British government running all over the places. Now, in essence, Trump's engagement with Africa has been characterized by bilateral deal-making and a reduction in traditional aid, often leading to diplomatic tension and concerns among African leaders about a potential with us or against us approach to the continent. Do we understand? Now, even the critics and even the people that believed in Trump's policy, they have now, in essence, characterized Trump's engagement with Africa as it stands now by bilateral deal making and a reduction in traditional aid. A reduction in traditional aid. I want us to pay attention from this place. And a reduction in traditional aid, often leading to diplomatic tension and concerns among African leaders about a potential with us or against us approach to the continent. Because if you look, the polity in Africa today is either you are with us or you are against us. That is why in Nigeria today, if you sin in PDP and come to APC, your sins will be forgiven. You see the approach. And this traditional aid, Trump, they made it a traditional aid. And this traditional aid can be classified by the mineral resources that is owned by every citizen in African continent. When some people have made themselves God, and I can easily include the British interests and some of the European countries' interests. They have been sharing this traditional aid, this thing that belongs to the people. But if you can be able to prove to Trump today that, yes, so if you can support me now, I can handle this thing where it will be better, where it will favor, where everybody will reap from it and make African continent a better place, where Americans where Europeans, where even the world can be able to come and live as civilized and sane people. This is what Trump is fighting for in Africa. Because Trump is already tired of all this nonsense that the so-called government and politicians are doing there. He's tired. That is why he called Nigeria a shithole country. Also called Nigeria a disgraced country because he's tired. Trump is tired. He wants everybody to remain in his or her own country. And this policy did not start from this second time that he came in as a president. It started from the first time when he was the 45th president, now the 47th president of the United States of America. Because he went out, he lost the last time, and Biden, won, and before he now came again as the 47th president of the United States of America. So this Trump's engagement with African continent is what is putting panic now in the mind and in the coven of the so-called British colonizers and some of the European countries that is still supporting that demonic ideology of British and some Europeans. They are panicking because Trump now comes. That is why we all saw how Trump sent congressmen and women to Nigeria to go and do what first-hand investigation and come and tell not all those ones they have been doing previously. The UN will send is it Kalama? What she will come and she will pile up her evidences and go to the UN. At the end of the day, UN will not do anything now. Trump gave. That is why we all saw the congressman that we all are inclined to. That's Riley Moore, Congressman Riley Moore. We saw him live in Nigeria. And that is a very big panic to the European nation and also to the British colonial empire. Because that status quo is about to be broken by the president of the free world, His Excellency Donald Trump. They are afraid of this potential, this approach, the way to even my the submission before I was kicked out. I said they are afraid. They are afraid because their status quo is now being quenched on. That is why you see very soon Somaliland will be recognized, because they never believed that Trump will come out today. And you see the same thing that is happening in Nigeria of congressmen and women diplomats going there. That is how Trump is also sending people to Somaliland to go and see how organized they are. To go and see if these people are really ready for this decision they are pushing me to take on their behalf. For people to go and see how zealous and how intact is their priority regarding their own nation or statehood. That is why I'm telling all Biafrans, keep paying attention in what Briggy is doing. That is why you see our acting prime minister coming out now to tell every Biafrans to unite and support this just cause, because we have been able to gain the attention of the United States of America, and the work is already all over the places. Nigeria is seriously panicking. Their so-called colonial masters are panicking. That is why you saw Boris Johnson that came to Biafra land to tell them, if Trump approach you, or maybe, yes, I'm just saying, but if Trump approach you, tell him that there's no problem, we are fine, we are comfortable in Nigeria, all those bullshit. That is why Boris Johnson have to say that. He even have to even say it before the so-called puppet will start saying that Nigeria is safe. Those things are political statements. And that should trigger every Biafran up that now is the time for every one of us to rise up.
and support the Biafra Republic government in exile, and also our acting Prime Minister, His Excellency Honorable Ogechukwu Nkeri. So we can be able to push this last push. We are almost at the end of the tunnel. But if we pay attention attentively, we will get Biafra now. But if we fail to pay attention, we'll be looking for Biafra in another century. That's if we can be able to get it again. And this engagement is what Trump wants. This is potential concern. The way he's engaging African leaders and African people now is bring something to the table characterized by bilateral deal making. Bring something to the table, of which the Biafra Republic government in exile have already give their own list. They have already made a deal. Every one of us here can remember when that deal was done. The first witness of designating Nigeria as a country of particular concern, our acting Prime Minister attended then. The things that we want America to do for us and the things we will do for America. Those are the deals that is being done by the Biafra Republic government in exile, that is now triggering all this diplomatic tension that you are seeing in the African continent as it stands now. And now is the best time for every one of us to get Biafra now. Now we have somebody, because he doesn't play. We need to come together now and support the Biafra Republic government in exile. So when our time comes, they will be able to see us as reasonable and focused people that really want their freedom. It's not when that time will come. This one will be saying something else and this one will be saying another thing. So all of you out there now is the time for you to come. Because in the United States Department of Justice, they only recognize the Biafra Republic government in exile as the only political entity. You can go to their website and look up to this thing. You have not seen any other entity that the United States of America, their Justice Department, that make their law for them, that uphold their law for them. Sorry. I've recognized that, yes. You have not seen the so-called other names there that are running all over the places, trying to take glory. No problem, they can take glory. They are Biafrans, no problem, but they should support what the Biafra Republic government in exile is doing. That is what we are seeing. And now is the time, because we are almost there. Boris Johnson did not go to Biafra land because he loves going there. No. He went there because he has seen the approach. Trump doesn't want to deal with any of them. And they are afraid that when Trump comes with this offer and say, okay, what do you guys want? If we say, yes, we want Biafra, Trump will give everybody Biafra. And allow these idiots to kill themselves in the Sahel. If they don't want to be reasonable, let them keep killing themselves over there, not bringing the death to Biafra land. At least we can be able to collect some of the Christians that will agree from the northern place to come and stay in Biafra land. The Christians can come there and they will be saved in Biafra land. In my own point of view, that is what I'm seeing, what is happening. That is what I'm analyzing in whatever that is happening now in Africa, most especially this area of concern, South Africa and Nigeria. South Africa and Nigeria. So anything can happen at any point in time. When our acting Prime Minister will say Biafra is here, so many of you think that maybe he's just talking, to encourage you to be supporting. No, he's telling you the facts, because the motives are clear. For how many years? For how many years that Nigeria have been committing all these the atrocities against human rights, killing the so-called citizens they claim that they are governing. How many when have you seen where delicate, this type of delicate that came to Nigeria have ever come to Nigeria for fact finding regarding anything that is happening in Nigeria? You have not seen it before. Anybody that have said yes for how many years that the person have seen it, let the person come out here and challenge me. When have you seen such delicate? You know, some of us only know Riley Moore, but there are so many congressmen and women in that delegation. It's not only Riley Moore that is a congressman in that those delegation that came to Nigeria for fine. It was not only him. Other people that you saw there are congressmen and women, people that make law in the United States of America. So don't allow anybody to downplay what Briggy is doing in Washington, D.C. Don't allow anybody to talk down and talk you down regarding what Briggy is doing in Washington, D.C. Nobody at this point in time should allow him or herself to be confused or deceived that what Briggy is doing in Washington, D.C. is not hidden fruit. It is hidden 100%. And they have come to take the testimony. Because when Briggy went to make testimony for Biafra, Nigeria was not there. Now they have come to take the testimony of Nigeria too. They will wait at the end of the day. If we comport ourselves properly, they might consider giving us Biafra. Because some of us are thinking maybe this Biafra will just fall. Is a manna that will fall from heaven. No. Yes, Biafra is spiritual, but you need to put in the physical work. When God told Noah to build the ark, did the ark just fall from heaven for Noah? Noah went into the forest, cut down trees and bamboos, fire them, chisel them, pull them together to build the ark. Before God now sanctified the ark. Because without you putting the physical work, thinking that, oh, tomorrow Trump will just wake up from his bed and give you Biafra. Far. Anybody that is telling you that one is deceiving you. We have to put ourselves together. We have to dress the way we want the international community to address us. It is spiritual. But without the physical, the spiritual cannot manifest. And when you were chosen spiritually, you have to make sure that obligation that God has given to you, God has given us an obligation, a divine obligation to make sure that we restore Biafra in our own time. And we must make sure we restore Biafra this time through the help of the Biafran Republic government in exile that has been established by the Biafran people and our Prime Minister. They never made mistake. Our Supreme Leader talked about America. Our Prime Minister talked about America. Our acting Prime Minister is still speaking about America. And there is a reason. These three leaders have chosen and hold strong to the American government. Because when American speaks, when American leads, others follow. We have been able to gain that attention through our congressional briefing on the 18th of September 2025 in Washington, D.C. Now, all that the Briggy has been doing is now in play. Now it's now left for every one of us to take advantage of what Briggy has been doing in Washington, D.C. and make sure we continue to fund whatever they are doing over there. So at the end of the day, we can be, but most especially, we should address the way we want the international community to address us. And if you really know that you need this Biafra, now is the time for you to stand up, rise up, and support what Briggy is doing. Because of time, I had 2 thoughts. If you allow me, we keep going on and on and on. So please, I would like to use my mic here now, but if there's still time for me to speak more, we can deliberate more regarding the concerns of Trump in Africa, and Nigeria is a country of particular concern where Trump have so much interest that everybody now have the opportunity to come to Trump's table and say, do this will be a better deal for the American continent, because Trump wants to work with corrupt systems. Doesn't work to, some of these European nations, they do all this party something. Rub my back, make I rub your back. Trump doesn't want that. Trump doesn't want freebies from anybody. Let's deal so you can be able to help the people. These contracts have to be on paper, black and white. That is why whatever deal that Trump will come out and announce it and make a conference for it that he has done so thing. Let it be on record. But some politicians, you don't even know when they strike deal. You will hear they come to drink coffee. They have signed deal and go back. You don't even know the deal they sign. It is later, maybe after some time, the Nigerian corrupt media will now come and say, no, in 1982, in so place, this law was signed, blah, blah, blah. Everybody will now start going back again. But when that did, or whatever that was done in that 1980 something, thank you, Joe. I don't want to take much time. Nigeria is a joke. Nigeria is a joke. Every one of us just needs to wake up. Biafra is here already. Me, I'm seeing Biafra, but it will pay me if our brothers and sisters that are still ignoring what the Biafra Republic government in Nigeria does not support this thing that we are doing. And at the end of the day, the lost start when this Biafra will come to pay me so much. That is why I said every one of you should join the moving trade as we continue to proceed and move ahead to our freedom. Tutors, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I wasn't even around. I stepped out. I left it for my co-host. Thank you. I didn't know you were still talking. Again, you passed your 3 minutes. That was a very great one. Thank you so much.
I just stop him on the way. That's why I just let him flow. We have not given the official 3 minutes to speak. Mazi Ancestra, please, for sake of time, you have 3 minutes to speak. I don't know if 1 million is still here. You can open your mic now and speak to Biafra. But before you speak, Mazi Toti, you have really nailed your submission. You said a lot of things that our people need to listen and gain knowledge. We have a deal with America, and that deal, it is what is going to make our ways with America, because that already shown America that we are serious and we are putting something on the table. So we are not joking. If you are out there thinking that we are joking, you are mistaken. You are mistaken. We are not joking. We are here for serious business. Mazi Ancestra, take over the mic and speak to Biafrans. Are you there?
Please, I will speak in next 5 minutes. In next 3 minutes, I'm driving. In next 3 minutes, I'll open my mic.
Okay. No wahala. We've seen our. Thank you so much, my co-host. You did great. Toti, you be. In fact, let me reserve my comment. Thank you so much for that great submission. Our COS is in the house. Minister Betty, the original mama, is in the house. Welcome, 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 welcome. Yeah, I think my co-host, are you there? We should be rounding up. This is almost 10 p.m. here.
Okay, let me use 1 minute to give my submission. Since there's a lot of people on the mic, I really needed to give them the opportunity to speak before I can say something. It is only our people that does not know that we are what they are about to lose. Yeah, I know the reason I'm saying it this way. Our people does not know what they are going to lose. That is why some of them are feeling reluctant. Some of them are believing that they should, the money, they don't need to support this struggle. They prefer to go and drink beer. They prefer to go and womanize. They prefer to do all manner of things, thinking that they are the only one who knows how to enjoy their money. They don't know what they stand to lose. Unlike British and France, they know what they are going to lose if Nigeria is being divided. Most of them, British and France, know that without our resources they are taking, their country will be in abject poverty. These people know what they are going to lose, and that is why they are putting a lot of work. That is why whenever you see anything happening, Macron will quickly call drug baron. Hey, where are you, drug baron? Where are you? Oh yeah, do this. And drug baron don't have any choice. He's a zombie. That's why Fela sing to them, zombie, oh zombie. All Nigeria, all these useless politicians are zombie. Take a look at this man that called himself Senate President. Look at the way this man, they are messing themselves up. Cover me, make I cover you. That is what they are doing there. So if you are a Biafra, you should know what you are about to lose if Fulani take over your land. And once you don't know what to lose, that is why you become a wanderer. You don't know your left and your right. You don't know where to stand. I have some in my group. When I look at them, sometimes I shed my I go speechless, because how can you be in my group over since the declaration till now? Many of them have not supported one Ejema or one Eje. Last week I begin to send them a message privately. I say I'm going to kick all of you out of my my group. I don't see reason why you people are in this group, and you know the purpose of we coming to this group. This group is not a Mona group. This group is not a family or social group or whatever. The purpose we have this group is to support this freedom. If you are in this group over a year, you have not supported anything. Why? What is your purpose of being in this group? I send them a message. Some of them, I kick them out of the platform, because only me and one other guy, sometimes whenever this guy want to support once in a while, the thing get me so mad to an extent. One respond to my message tonight and was telling me that the whole thing got him mad, and he was this, he was that. I say, you are not here for freedom. If you did not know the right place since 1 year till now, you don't know the right way to belong. Are you now telling me that if every one of us should do the way you just go behind, and you believe that we will be talking about Biafra today? So that is what brought me to all these things. I am making it clear that so many of our people does not know what they are going to lose if what. Mazi, you want to say something? Okay, thank you very much. Let me use the mic for the sake of our sister tutor that want to go to sleep. Sister tutor, you can take over the mic. Thank you.
Yeah, I can't see anybody's hand that is up again. Maybe I need to refresh. I'm looking for David.
No. There is one person that is. I have two people requesting mic, but one is KC. KC is not one of us. I can't bring him up. He has been requesting for long. He's not
Just,
one of us, so I
just
can't bring. One is Jimmy.
no,
I
no
want to.
need. Minister Snow's hand is up. He's requesting for mic. Leave all those people that are coming to distract us.
Okay, I bring Mr. Snow. I bring him up. Wait, let me check this Jimmy. If this Jimmy is one of us, I will bring him up.
Yeah, tutors. If Mazi David is on the listening section, maybe if he's finding it difficult to request, you can send him the mic so he can come.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, original COS. Welcome, Amedi Ekomdo. Yeah, King David, I'm sending you mic because you've been struggling since. Did you get the mic? I've sent it to you. Please come up and then speak to Biafrans before I end this space. Biafran, I think we have do justice as we can to this topic. Yeah, we started from, talking about the part that France played in the military, would I say, intervention by the Nigerian terrorist government, and then
Titus,
the
can you hear me?
yeah, yeah. Please go ahead, King David. We've been waiting for you. I don't know where you want to start
Can
from now.
anybody hear me, please?
Yes, yes. Oh my God, he's not hearing us. Can you hear? Can you hear me, King David? King David. That he couldn't. King David. Oh my God, I really want him to speak. He has been here since. I don't mind staying awake until you speak before
He
I
was
end this
talking.
place.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me as well?
I don't know whether anybody. Can you hear me, Titus? Please confirm.
Mazi David, can you hear me?
Okay, thank you so much, our sister Titus. Thank you so much for what you are doing for the Biafran people. Wonderful Biafrans and lovers of freedom. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from my location. I want to really appreciate everyone who have joined us on this space, a very much educative space. And this is the reason why anytime you join this space, try as much as possible to share it. Because a lot of people don't get authentic information. And the only platform you can get information that are verifiable, that are reliable, that are authentic are only on the platforms of the Biafran Republic government in exile, like our spaces and our individual handles where we share information that are authentic, world information, domestic information, and information for the consumption of the Biafran people as well as the international world. Very, very important. So if you have not shared this space, do well to share this space. Biafra of freedom and wonderful people, just like our brother who last spoke, Onyenyere once said, a lot of people are ignorant and a lot of people are wicked as well. A lot of people as well are agents of the Nigerian state. So no matter what you do, they feign ignorant of what is happening. There are a lot of people who already know that it's Biafran Republic government in exile that is in charge of the liberation of Biafra. I don't think there is anybody in diaspora that doesn't know this. Then you ask yourself, why are they not supporting? Why are they not joining? Why are they not in any way in contact or try to join in order to make sure that Biafra is restored at this particular time? It all boils down to what our leader said: envy, jealousy, and greed. Because you are not the one in charge, you are not at the helm of affairs. Therefore, this bring down syndrome is always applicable to those who are envious, who are jealous, and who don't have anything to contribute. So this set of individuals will feign ignorant of what is happening, whereas they have heard it from the, from the mainstream media. They have already heard it from the Nigerian media, even in African forums. It has been spoken times without number that the Briggy cabinet, the Briggy APM, our lobbyists, are the ones lobbying American government, making it possible that America is now speaking and trying to hold the terrorist Nigerian government and holding them accountable for the atrocity that they have committed. It's quite unfortunate that a lot of people are living in that era, trying to pretend as if they don't know or there is nothing is happening. But to continue to pretend, one thing is very, very certain: you are going to sleep in Nigeria and wake up in Biafra. And a time will come, like our leader have always prophesied, when you are going to say, oh, where can I support? How many billions do you people need? That time we are going to tell you that your money is no longer required. Just like this moment, we are telling Biafrans of the need to sit at home so that the angels of God will walk around the 40 states of Biafra land in order to delegitimize and evict the terrorists from our land. But they cannot do it with their ordinary hands. They cannot do it with only the words of mouth. They have to do it with the necessary tools, arms, and ammunition that is needed for the protection of Biafra land. So, the 5 days sit at home, the angels of God need your support, need the logistics. They need machine guns, they need RPGs, they need AK-47, AK-49. In fact, they need to even put more Ogbunigwe in use. And to manufacture Ogbunigwe, a lot of raw materials, rural resources, and even some imported raw materials are also needed. And all these things are capital intensive. So this is the time that your support is needed. Check in the government website, log into the website www.biafrarepublic. That must be in small letter. And you can see where you can donate and support the Biafran government. Very, very important. Even if you don't want to donate, you can as well do business as well, because we have a special IOU program whereby you can loan the government your money and the government will pay you interest rate on it. And I ask you, what kind of business are you going to do that you are going to get 100% profit on it? So there are a lot of incentives that await those who loan government our money. And this loan is for the prosecution of this war that the Nigerian government have brought to our domain. And this loan is also for non-Biafrans as well. If you are a non-Biafran and you are looking forward to having a Biafran passport or Biafran citizenship, this is the time to at least you have an edge over others. Because once you support the government with your loan, you have a receipt and you have a certificate, so that even when you are not there, your children can come and claim the money when Biafra is fully restored. So what are you waiting for? 5 days sit at home is very, very important and very, very sacrosanct, because this is the last phase of the liberation of Biafra land. So that the men and women who died, who were starved to death, the blockade that happened that resulted to a lot of casualties between 1967 to 1970, they can be able to have closure. The only closure that is acceptable to the dead is the closure of granting them their wishes. Those things that led to their death, that is the only closure that they need. So Biafrans in the homeland, those in Aba, in Owerri, in Onitsha, in Nigeria state as well, in Abuja, in Sokoto, in Kaduna, in Kafanchan, anywhere that you are in the homeland, try and do well to associate with your district, your counties, your councils, your LGAs for the Biafran liberation task. Very, very important, because the little that Biafrans are contributing is the reason why we don't have IDP camps anywhere in Biafra territory. And the reason why you saw Soludo boys or the terrorists going to Anambra in order to carry out some soft spot target attack is because the Biafran Defense Forces have not been fully equipped so that the 40 states of Biafra land will be protected. That is why you have pockets of attacks coming from all these terrorists in our land. Believe you me, when the Biafran Defense Forces have all the necessary logistics that they need, personnel of the Biafran Defense Forces, the volunteers, they will be dispatched to all the nook and crannies of the 40 states of Biafra. And then the enemy, the terrorists, will have no hiding place. They cannot be able to carry out any attack. So Biafrans in the homeland, the 5-day sit at home is very, very important and key to the liberation of our land. If you are not comfortable with the, the intimidation, the harassment that you are going through on a daily basis as a result of the numerous checkpoints, harassment points in Biafran territory, think about Tiger Base and think about Obinze. These are areas that the checkpoint, these are areas and the police stations and the army barracks and secretariats. These are areas, places that the terrorists are using in harassment, intimidation, kidnapping, harvesting of organs of Biafrans. And all these places need to be evicted from our land. They need to be destroyed. If you are on social media recently, you can see how Tiger Base have come under attack. Yes, a lot of heinous crimes are going on in Biafra land. And that is why you see Boris Johnson. That is why you see Hope Uzodimma speaking with the Iranian ambassador to Nigeria, taking you back. You remember how Hope Uzodimma came into power. And you remember what our leader, NNAMDI KANU, said about the election of Hope Uzodimma. Hope Uzodimma is a candidate of the North. Hope Uzodimma is to promote the agenda of the North in Biafra land. And that was why he was installed there, even when he did not even win an election. So when you see Boris Johnson coming to see Hope Uzodimma and telling you, oh, how beautiful, how secure Nigeria is, it is because of the actions and activities that is speculatively going to happen against Nigeria. And you know, Boris Johnson and Britain, they are one of those who are responsible for the slavery that is happening in the whole world, in Africa. So, America got their freedom through Britain. They have to evict Britain before they can be free. So when you see that Boris Johnson, of all the atrocities that is happening in Nigeria, Boris Johnson downplayed it. And when you go to the declassified document of what happened during the war, you can now see and connect the dots how evil the British people are. Some of them, not all of them anyway. Harold Wilson, who was in power at that time, was sending arms to Nigeria secretly. Even when presenting to the world, oh, they are not sending arms to Nigeria. Oh, the Biafran people do not want a ceasefire. They don't want to negotiate. They don't want, they don't want to receive, what do you call it? They don't need aid, They are rejecting ceasefire. They are rejecting negotiation. Whereas Harold Wilson, the British people were actively involved in blanketing the world media of the atrocity that was happening in Biafran territory. Even when opposition parties were telling them, do not be selling arms to Nigeria, unarmed civilians are being killed. They said, oh, because the interest they have in Nigeria outweigh that of the lives and livelihood of the Biafran people. They downplayed. They didn't care about you. They didn't care about the Kwashiorkor. They didn't care about the bombing of the hospitals. They didn't care about the bombing of the market. They didn't care about the 700 Biafran people, male, that were shot dead in cold blood at close range in Asaba. The government of Britain didn't care about you. So why do you think that Boris Johnson will come to Owerri and care about you? He told you they are giving you whiskey in place of your natural resources. Is that not laughable? So he is coming to make sure that, oh, the human parts that they are getting is also coming and will be available through Hope Uzodinma. He is also coming to make sure that whatever America is planning to do, that the Biafran people, according to them, the elites, will kick against it. So that is the essence that Hope Uzodinma was there. And you can also see him, receiving Iranian ambassador in Imo House. And you say, what business? Can you tell me the last time an ambassador of Nigeria, a country, went to a state to pay a courtesy visit, whether in their house, anywhere? I can't remember when that happened. Then you reflect your mind back. What is happening in Imo State? Iran is known the financier of terrorism. State, their own is so, so visual. It is not hidden. The whole world knows about the actions and activities of Iran. So Iranian ambassador to Nigeria is an eye of the Iranian government in Nigeria. And you know what our leader told you about Imo State? Imo State is home to a lot of natural resources that Biafra land can boast of. As a matter of fact, the greatest gas deposit in Africa comes from Imo State. So you can see the sponsors of terrorism coming to Imo State or talking to the Imo State governor, who is a puppet of the caliphate. What are their discussion going to center upon? Is it not terrorism? So those who are known for killings of Biafra, and you see them in Biafra land, coming to a terrorist affiliate or a terrorist representative in Biafra land, what do you think Boris Johnson and Hope Uzodinma will be talking about? Is the continued subjugation of the Biafran people. So my wonderful Biafran brothers and sisters, I want us to understand that these people are not relenting. They don't give a damn what is being said about the killings, the harvesting of organs, the genocide that is happening in our land. These people don't give a fuck what happens to you. So we should give, a concern of what happened to us, our people, our families, our state, our generation. And that is why all hands must be on deck to support our APM, our active APM, His Excellency Honorable Ogechukwu Nkere, who has committed and continued to commit his time, his resources, in order to make sure that we are free as a people, in conjunction with the stand for Hamadike One of Biafra and the Prime Minister of the Biafran Republic government in exile. It is our responsibility, my fellow Biafran brothers and sisters in the homeland and in diaspora, anywhere that you are listening from, to come on board, donate generously, so that our land will be safe from terrorism, so that our land will be safe from Boris Johnson British enslavement, so that our land will be safe from Iranian-backed militias who are terrorists in the form of Nigerian army and police that are in our land. They are the sponsors of the insecurity that you see happening in our land. I want us to understand that we can only free ourselves. Nobody is going to free us. And thank God, like our brother Toti said, we are now knowing the book. We have opened the book through the lobbyists and our APM and they are panicking. Even as they are panicking, they are still regrouping. They are still planning. But this time around, Chukwu Okike Abiama have destined that those who pay the ultimate price, including Ikonso, their death will never be in vain. It is our responsibility not to make it to be in vain. 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th of this month is very, very important. Like the angels of God in the Bible, when they passed through the land of Israel, and they were asked to sprinkle body blood on the doorpost of their houses, so that when the angel of destruction passed, it's going to pass over their houses without any calamity befalling them. In your own case, Biafrans in the homeland, you are expected to sit in your houses while the angels of God go around 40 states of Biafra land and cleanse the land of terrorism, cleanse the land of calamity, cleanse the land of all evil vices, kidnapping, harassment, intimidation, extortion, and all the rest of it. Very, very important. I really appreciate everyone who have been in this platform. This is an hallowed platform where you come and you get the message of redemption, the message that is going to save your life and the life of your children. And let me tell you, those of you who are listening anonymously, and those of you who you always come to our spaces, you don't share. Even when you share, when there are contributions going on, you don't contribute. And you want miracle to happen. How do you want miracle to happen? Even Ukraine are sourcing for funds. Even Russia, even Israel, they are all independent nations, but they are still sourcing for funds to protect their land and their territories. But in this case, we are fighting to get that same freedom that these people have. And you know that it is very capital intensive to protect a territory. But we can do it. We have timbers and calibers in all of you that are in the homeland and in diaspora. But only for you to have the mind of giving. The greatest legacy, the greatest gift you can give to your children, whether you are living large in America or anywhere around the world, is freedom. Give your children that platform of freedom so that when you are not there, your spirit will rest in peace anywhere you are, because at least your children will not be crying, your children will not be suffering, or your children will not be seeking for American help again, because you have made it possible for them to be free. Join this fight for freedom. Liberate Biafra. Donate generously so that Chukwu Okike Abiama, the ancestors, will be kind to you. Tutors, thank you, appreciate you. Our sister Betty, Minister Betty, appreciate you. Tottiville, Ancestral Holland, greeting from here. Simon Ekpak, our Obi Chicago, I salute you 1 million. Ndewo nwa Chineke, the most articulate minister, Snow, the original COS. Greeting from here, sir. Jimmy, welcome as usual. Mweze, I salute you as well.
They're working,
And
David.
there are a lot of our people here. Akuta Abigail, there were Storm, I see you. Good news. Franca Judah, Simon Ekpa, Les the Great, my own brother Rage and Fury. Thank you so much. Ndewo nwa Chineke. Biafra must come. Chichi, Ebo Mazi Chukwumeze, Solomon, Alozie Ambrose, Prince Ibe, Williams Eloi, our gallant sister Eunice. Greeting from here, senior citizen Ben Owabua. I salute you, Biafra Lazem Malaysia. Ndewo nwa Chineke, Eze Bina Biafra, Endless Leroy, Onyenyere, one of Biafra, Nlewem Daniel, Akuta Chioma, Chizoba Chukwu, CEO, Mazi Anakolam, Biafra Free Energy Tech, my comrades, my African rep, James Adeno. Greeting from here, our gallant sister Mary Tekamp. I salute you, Augustina Ugo, Egigwe, John Eje, Mabu Ugo, Oluchuku Solomon, Livingstone, Freedom, Livia Blue, Ekosu Kennedy, Wabuna, Miriam, Igwe Watermelon, Eric Nadi. I have to say greetings to everyone that is here. But if you have not shared the space, then you are the enemy that do not want other people to get this message. But if you share the space, may the grace of Chukwu Okike Abiama, the creator of heaven and earth, be with each and every one of you. And if you are looking for where to make your donation, please go to Biafran Republic Government in Exile website, www.biafranrepublicgovernment.org, and make your donation. It is there as well that you can be able to know the government that is known in Washington, D.C., that is representing Biafran people. Don't give your money to those who are funding a Bubago. As a matter of fact, if you are supporting Ngozi, you are supporting the accountability group, you are supporting Agile or whatever it is called, your money is being used to send container of Indomie or Kreka to Nigeria. These people are using your money for business. But when you pay to BRGIE government in exile, the money is going into logistics. The money is going into the recognition of Biafra. Very, very important. And you can see what has happened and what is happening in Washington, D.C. So I don't need to convince you. I don't need to preach to you. Go to our website. You can see the diplomatic work that our APM, our attorneys and our lobbyists are doing to make sure that you are free. Even when you are eating hamburger in America, eating cheeseburger, enjoying yourself and all the rest of it, there are people who are not getting time to do all those things. They want to make sure that you are free. Consider NNAMDI KANU, life imprisonment because of you. Consider Simon Ekpa, our prime minister, 6 years in detention because of you. Then that hamburger and cheeseburger and the
Mazi David, finally. Can you hear?
understand that those things are unnecessary at this particular time. Save your life first. Every other thing is secondary. And thank you for giving me this opportunity, Tutos. I yield my mic.
Guinea, King David. Hey, thank you for your submission. Hey, wait. Now me talk about until I hear your voice before I will end this space. Hey, thank you so I entered one chance. Thank you so much, King David. The thing is that I cannot even refresh because I don't have a co-host. Internet has kicked out my co-host. Yeah.
Let
Wow.
me the co-host first before
Okay,
the space will go.
let me see if I can give it to you. I wanted our
Because
CEOs
yeah, that's the reason why you need to be fresh. Yeah.
yeah. So original CEOs, are you? Oh my God, it's after 10. I need to put my head down. Original CEOs. Ancestral, the time we were supposed to speak, you said you were driving. COS, are you there while I settle with Toti? Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, yes. Greetings, everyone. I'm not going to take long. I know you're about to get some rest. I just want to appreciate everyone who has been here, and I want to stand on the existing protocol. Like David has done, David has taken 20 minutes to call everybody's names. So I'm going to stand on that existing protocols. Greetings, all Biafrans and friends of Biafra who are here. I've been listening to, since I joined, I've actually been listening to everything. And I tell you, Tocqueville and everyone who has been speaking, you've been taking words from each and every one of our hearts, especially those who have not really made submissions. And I appreciate you guys for all the work you're doing for Biafra and doing for yourselves, because this race is, in as much as it's a collective race, is individual equally. The freedom that we seek is, like Mazin Kodinamba says, it's not the one that somebody will give to you, rather the one that you will fight and get so that you can value what you have gotten. So I appreciate everyone who has been speaking, and I appreciate you, Tutor, for the time that you put in doing this work. Um, I just can't thank you guys enough, because without Bridge Gay Media, I don't know what we will be doing today. I don't know where we will be. So each and every one of you who is keyed in with our Minister of Information, Mazi Sonia Barawa, may God continue to bless you. And as you work for Biafra, God will work in your own vineyard when you need Him the most. But I have a question from this topic today. I'm not going to take time, like I said. Nigeria bombs Benin. That is Yoruba land. Uh, I know we don't, I don't want to go into all that long history of Benin people and Yoruba people. Most of them who are in IDP, they ran to, when they were killing them, they all ran to Benin. I guess people know that. A lot of Yorubas ended up in Benin when the the ravaging of the Fulani got intense in their homeland, when Igboho was still fighting for freedom. I know why I chose that line of word, still fighting for freedom, because I don't know if that's what he's doing right now. But when he was fighting for freedom, Yoruba people that were being massacred, getting evicted from their farmlands, were running to Benin. But here is my question today.
Yeah, COS, sorry, just to make some clarification so people will not confuse your statement when you are calling Benin. You say Benin, the Benin
Oh,
Republic. So we get it right. Yeah,
Nam,
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Benin Republic, maka onye thought it view. Believe me, those people that choose to twat things like this when people say it, they know they just have that spirit of chaos and animosity in them. They always choose to do that. But the country of Benin Republic, where Yoruba people are in IDPs or have migrated to forcefully leaving their homelands because of the Fulani invasion. Now you have Nigeria, where their quote unquote president is from Yoruba land, is busy, and Yoruba people are applauding him for invading Benin Republic, dropping bombs on their own people in Benin Republic. But when it came to Niger, every one of them in the northern part, the political leaders and all of that, they stood vehemently against Nigeria going into that place for, to fight Niger. They pulled up everything that anybody can pull up, why Nigeria must never go in there to kill the people there or to try to fight them. It's not just about Russia standing on their side. I just want people to know this. The Northerners, the Nigerian Northerners, stood vehemently against it because it's their people. But today, Yorubas are applauding the Nigerian terrorist state for killing their own. Tinubu is busy killing Yorubas in Benin Republic to satisfy Nigeria. What does that tell you, everyone? Nigeria is not for you. The business called Nigeria benefits the British and the Fulanese. Resource wise, the British are benefiting. Land grabbing wise, the Fulanese are benefiting because that's the bargain. That's the trade off they had when they allowed them into Nigeria 1803. People should not get these things twisted. If the Yorubas are wise enough, they would never support, they would never applaud Nigerian state for what they have done in Benin Republic, but it goes a long way to tell you what we have all been talking about. And don't forget, they've been dropping this bomb in Biafra land, and nobody says a word. A sitting governor in our land, illegitimate for that matter, a terrorist occupying sitting governor in our land in the name of Hope Uzodinma, bragged about how he's going to drop bomb again if people do not leave their homelands, dropping bomb on women who were sleeping. People wake up to bombs dropped on their family members. That is the situation in Nigeria. The only way, the only way we will ever know peace in the territory called Nigeria is by dividing that territory. Everybody going their separate ways. Just like Biafra has gone, the Yorubas need to stand up, realize that Nigeria is not for them. I'm not begging you anyway. I'm just telling you what you need to do. And all lovers of freedom, all lovers of humanity all over the world should stand up and speak against what is going on in Nigeria and encourage every country with love for humanity to recognize Biafra. I've said this over and over again, just like my brothers and sisters here have always said it. The recognition of Biafra will bring a lasting solution to the Nigerian menace. And if you think it is just going to end in the territory called Nigeria, you got to think again. These terrorists are out to invade the entire West African coast. And if they succeed in Biafra, the rest is a walkover. I just want to put that out there. For Yoruba people, it is a pity that you have become such a coward that you would support people to massacre your own. It is a pity that we have all the professors. I heard Wolo Soyinka and his narrative of, hey, don't send the troops. Just tell your son to go because of the amount of, you see, instead of describing what is going on there as evil, he's interested in, feeding. I don't want to, I don't want to use some kind of words on people today. I'm trying to be, I'm trying to be as polite as possible. But if
You
Yorubas, true,
can use false
if
narrative.
I can use what, my brother?
False narrative.
Oh yes, he's trying to, just sway the people's mind from thinking about the right thing, or instead of thinking about the fact that people are that they're killing their Yoruba brethren. He's talking about the fact that Shei Tinubu has so much security with himself. Because if you're listening to me, the only way we can restore Biafra, the only way we can defend our land is by your contribution. Give us your IOU loan as a good citizen of Biafra. Join us in paying your liberation tax. If you're here in diaspora, like David said, "I won't eat a burger, Kagima." Go ahead and eat burger. If drinking coffee every morning is better for you, go ahead and keep doing that. But an Odogu without a homeland is a coward. And we have so many Odogus without a homeland. Keep waiting for the millionaires to give you your freedom, you're not going to get it. This freedom is for you and I, those who need it the most. No. If you're back home and you're thinking that Biafra is not here, you're deceiving yourself. Look again, think again. Everything that is happening today is because of Briggy. Every recognition of the chaos that is going on, the massacre, is mostly because of Briggy. Yes, other people also are part of the reason why the world is speaking about it. But the reason why it's on global stage today is because of Briggy. And if you do not know that, we're telling you that now. So join your hands, support Briggy. Let's restore our homeland. It is incumbent on every one of us to do the right thing. Down everyone. May God bless you all and continue to give you strength to keep doing this good work. I tell you this, what you're doing is completely God's work. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Dalunu. God bless you all.
Dalu, original CEO, is without your voice, the space will not be complete. You know, you know, when you said you will not take time, I started laughing because once you said you will not, anybody that comes to Spain and say I will not take time, hey, 30 minutes, the person will still be talking. I'm surprised. Thank you so much. Thank you. God bless you. 2 hands are still up. Ngwanu, ancestor, you came before 1 million. Before then, let us listen to this, our brother. Oh, no, wahala. Let us listen.
Anti-tutors, my battery will run off. I don't know if I just only 2 minutes solution.
Oh
I
yeah,
will just
oh
go
yeah,
down.
oh
Okay,
yeah,
so
oh
thank
yeah,
you.
my minister. Go,
Oh,
talk. No
okay.
wahala.
So, my good evening, my honorable COS. I'm sorry because of my location as as it has been before. So now, what I'm trying to say here, what I'm trying to say here now is that our people should, our people should expect, our people should expect something different this time around because we have all seen how these vultures have gathered in our land. We have all seen how they have gathered, and right now they have already planned and they have concluded. So the reason why we are here, making sure that all these things, these messages, and all this awareness gets to our people, is for those that allow themselves to be used or to be deceived at this particular critical time. We have seen series of evidences, and all these things that we are seeing today has been all our leaders has talked about and told us. But right before our eyes, I believe that we can all see what is going on. So now we cannot just put our hand and watch this kind of evil, this kind of agendas, and this kind of atrocities keep happening, especially in Biafran land, because the old Imo state is Biafran territory and not Nigeria. That is for those who believe in what we are doing, who believe that they are Biafrans. But if you are a Biafran and you're still believing that whenever you find yourself within the 40 states of Biafra land, and you still think that you are in the same, you still think you still think that you still think that you are in the you still think that you are in the you still think that you are in the what they call it, you are in the zoo, you still think you are in the zoo, then that means you are deceiving yourself. So right now, the only thing that I'm going to say here now is that our people should expect the unusual, because now we have seen that they have gathered, and now we are here calling for awareness. The only two key options that we have, the only hope that we have is the Biafran Liberation Army. That's all, and we must fund them. If we must prepare, to make sure that we are able to resist these monsters. Because if it is for the attack or whatever, nobody knows how it's going to happen. But I can categorically tell you that the reason why you see these people still gathering as a vulture in Biafran territory is because of the Biafran Liberation Army, and their target is also to target on us. But at this time, they have made their conclusion, trying to target the Biafran Liberation Army, and at the same time,